What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 368. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez,
What a revolted development.
Chris Seeley,
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero,
Yo, yo, yo.
Adam Vale,
You doing?
Brian Manjoma.
Who knew that Microsoft would release the biggest exclusive so early on this year?
All right, and we got two special guests joining us tonight. First up, we got the one, the only one, Mr. Riku-san one.
What's up, everybody? Good to be back.
All right, and then we got the one, the only, Mr. Richard Bailey Jr.
But he's not. He's a junior. You just said it. There's a.
Yeah, but there is no other junior. He's the only junior.
Only junior.
But what about your brother? What's your brother's?
Lord?
Yeah, but they wouldn't be juniors. They'd be the
No,
third.
there you go.
Hey, you fucked up this man's intro. What's going on, Rich?
What's going on? Good evening, gamers. Yes.
Yeah. I by the way, I just got to apologize to Rich and Riku. You guys are joining us for a very slow week. Nothing happened in the gaming industry this week. Oh,
Nothing
man.
to see here.
This is all we're going to talk about tonight, by the way. Like, and it's crazy. Like, this is one of those, by the way, shout out to Cicero Holmes. He was like, this is a day, like you're going to remember, like, Pearl Harbor. Like, damn, bro. So,
Yeah,
I remember,
all right.
yeah, but
Tony's like, damn, bro, you've been alive for that long?
yeah, like really shit. Actually, no, I think he did say 9/11. It's like you remember when 9/11 happened. You remember. Actually, he said you remember when the console war ended when Microsoft killed Sony. I'm like, all right, bro, chill out with that. But anyway, you guys see the headline. You already know what's up. Microsoft did it again. You thought them buying Bethesda was it? Like these guys can't get any crazier. But I remember we joked like, what if they bought Activision? We laughed that shit off. Like, nah, that ain't gonna happen.
Remember, Uncle Phil said he wasn't done when they asked him after the Bethesda. They said, "Are you done with the?" Oh no. So I have a feeling this was in the works for a while.
We'll get into that, but yes, we know Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion. So they're throwing out the fat cash. I remember I woke up this morning because it was on a Tuesday this happened. Everybody was off on Monday because of Martin Luther King. I wake up, my fucking phone's blowing up. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? The chat, the Throwdown Discord was like, Tony, are you up? Are you seeing this? I'm like, what are you guys talking about? The instant I open up Twitter, I see it. I'm like, oh shit. You know, I didn't need coffee that morning. That shit woke me up real quick. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, so yeah, it's happened. Microsoft, I believe it's next year when the deal is finalized, and they bought another one. They bought Activision, you know, and this is obviously, you know, days after the whole thing with Bobby Kotick and all that. We're gonna get into all that stuff, you know. But I'm gonna start off with our guest here. So, Rich, what do you think of this monumental megaton news?
Well, I thought
that was an evil laugh right there. He's like,
laughter definitely was my first response. Let me just start by saying, you know, when I heard about this news, I received the email from Xbox PR. It had a list of the takeaways of the deal. It's very clear in that email. It said that we're not taking any questions at this time, and that there will be further information provided later. So clearly, you know, as you said, Tony, we will get into later the timeline of these events. But Microsoft, they wanted to control the narrative with this news because we saw what happened today, and we'll get into that later also. What Phil Spencer said today.
Yeah.
But when I heard the news, my instant reaction is, why couldn't Microsoft make this announcement on a day when everybody had off?
Because, yeah, right, the day before. Shit.
I mean, we all had to work. Well, at least I believe a majority of people had to work on Tuesday. So,
well, maybe they had off also. That was the whole thing. They did. Like, all right, what are we gonna do? Oh well, we're off today. Oh, we'll wait till tomorrow.
But you could tell they were waiting for the week to start because this was before 9 a.m. This was announced.
That was early. That dropped on there. He sent it on Twitter and on their official site. It got posted and.
Yeah. Again, my phone was blowing the fuck up. I'm like, what is going on right now? You know? It was wild. But yeah, now they have or will have access to Overwatch, Diablo, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, StarCraft, and remember, Zynga's part of this too.
And remember,
Candy Crush,
Heroes of the Storm.
Heroes of the Storm. Maybe they'll bring it back, Carlos. In the right way.
Guitar
you know?
Hero.
Guitar Hero. It's crazy right now. I'm reading this off. It was with Treyarch, Raven, High Moon, Beanox, Infinity Ward, Demonware, Toys for Bob. I don't know what the fuck that is. Something Shanghai Studio, Sound State Studio. So it's a lot of shit.
Toys for Bob, by the way, is the people that were in charge of making the Spiral remake.
Okay.
The Toys for Bob made that.
Yep.
And didn't they do the Crash game too?
Yeah,
Crash-
They did Crash 4. Vicarious Visions are the ones that did the Crash
remake?
trilogy remake. They were the ones that did Crash 4.
Rico,
Spyro
I'm interested in your thoughts because you never seem like an Activision guy or Microsoft guy, So, what do you think of all this?
It's surprising and not surprising at the same time. I think that's everybody's initial impressions of this whole thing. I feel like I want to go deeper into this, but then we're going to go down a rabbit hole. So, I mean, if you want me to go off, I can.
Just say whatever you want, man.
Do it.
Well, I would think my first gut impression of it was, and this is as a consumer and PlayStation gamer. I was thinking, obviously what Tony has been saying, before what Xbox came out. Well, Phil Spencer came out and said today. Prior to him saying that, my initial thought was, Call of Duty is going to be exclusive to Xbox in the near future. Probably not this year's Xbox, probably not next year's Xbox, but eventually it will be exclusive. And as someone who doesn't play Call of Duty, and as someone who enjoyed the shooters that PlayStation used to make before they heavily dived into Call of Duty incentives, so Resistance, MAG, Killzone, Warhawk, all of those, Uncharted multiplayer, Last of Us multiplayer, all the first party shooting PlayStation games. I saw that as hopefully Sony can now try to focus on filling that void that will now be there, since all of that money that they were pushing into Call of Duty incentives over the past, honestly all last generation.
Then what you're saying is that there's a possibility for a Haze 2.
Jesus Christ.
Ubisoft needs to be. Yeah, it's Ubisoft.
Yeah, first of all, that's Ubisoft. It was just
Ubisoft.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
Y'all know how much I fucking hate Ubisoft.
Not till Thursday.
I'm not even gonna talk about Haze.
Oh,
but what I was trying to say, in regards to the incentives, we know moving forward that all of the Call of Duty incentives that PlayStation had all last generation, that's going to go straight into Game Pass day one with Call of Duty and all that stuff. The best place to play Call of Duty from now on, it will be on Xbox, and that will never change moving forward. And that's how it was before Sony started to shove all of the incentives in Call of Duty. In the 360 days, Call of Duty was heavily associated with Xbox, like most first-person shooters around that time. But Sony had to make their own shooters, and people like me gravitated towards them, regardless if they were financially successful or not. That, like I said, right now I'm speaking as the gamer, and that's what I wanted. So, like I said, my initial gut impression of when that happened was good. I was more so like, good riddance. Finally, Sony can fucking possibly look at what they were doing before they decided to make, obviously from a business standpoint, Sony shoving incentives into Call of Duty made them a lot of money. Smart business decision, sure. But as someone who liked all those games that weren't Call of Duty, that wasn't good for me, So now that that's gone, moving forward, there's only two paths that Sony can take. One, they could take all of that money from the incentives and move it to another big shooter. God hope it's not fucking like Battlefield, which is, right behind Call of Duty in regards to like popular first person shooters you think of, or one of those fucking battle royales like Apex Legends or Destiny. You know, that's one path they could take. Shove the incentives because Destiny kind of is already heavily associated with PlayStation anyway. So, Destiny doesn't look like it's slowing down in regards to well, Destiny 2 in particular. It doesn't look like it's slowing down in regards to its longevity. So that is something possibly Sony would do, is just shove more incentives into Destiny, even though they're already, heavily associated with them and Bungie and all that shit. But there's two paths. One, that path, shove the incentives into another third-party shooter, or like you have been seeing on the internet, people made this. I think it was Greg Miller that came up with some meme. He threw up a screenshot of a Killzone. He was like, "We need you, come back, it's time," or some shit. And then everyone started throwing all of their PlayStation first-party shooter multiplayer Sony games. "We need you, come back." Someone threw up Resistance. Someone threw up Warhawks. All this other shit. Only time will tell what we will think Sony will do. But from a business standpoint, unfortunately, it looks like they might just shove all the incentives into another already successful shooter. So that was my first gut initial feeling on it. I'll leave it at that. We can talk about it more. But yeah, that was pretty much the PlayStation gamer perspective. I mean, we'll talk about PlayStation's their reaction a little bit later, because very interesting what happened with Sony after that. But for me, the most interesting, actually, I'll save my thoughts a little bit later. Adam, you are a big Activision guy, so what you think of it? And now you're back on Team Xbox again. So
by the way, shout out to Agent Richard for subscribing.
Appreciate that, man. Good to see you again, man. It's been a while.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Adam, what are your thoughts on all this? This huge news. He's got to prepare right now, man.
He's like, Guadalupe.
All right, this was big. This was big. Definitely big for a few reasons. Obviously, Call of Duty. Yes, we got all the other games. We got Diablo and all the other ones. Wow, this is massive. Now, when I saw this, I was like, all right, this is great for the Xbox community and Game Pass. Game Pass is going to get beefier. It's going to have all these great games. But my other concern is the price of Game Pass is going to go up. That's really what came up to my head, because when you go to get Game Pass, you get the $14.99. You can do monthly. You can get a 3 month subscription, but you can't buy a full year. They don't offer full year. You have to stack other months and stuff, but you can't buy a full year, which tells me that they already have it planned out before this, that they don't want people just paying full years, because then they'll stack up on those, because they plan on raising the price. So when I see this acquisition, I see how much they paid for it. I'm like, who's paying the bill? We're going to be paying this bill, people that have the service. So that was my concern, actually. I was just nervous that, shit, is this going to go to $20? Is this going to go higher? Because the sky's the limit at this point. They're going to have so many of these big titles, and if they're all linked on Game Pass, yes, that's going to be it. But that was my main concern. I'm excited. I think it's great. This is one of those things where, if, again, I keep pointing back, everybody watch that Play On, that 6-part documentary, because I think this all led up to this. That 6-part, they knew this was going to be announced, and they're like, we're going to drop this documentary to show why we're doing what we're doing. And it was basically showing how they dropped the ball on a few things, from the 360 to the Xbox One, and then they're like, no, now this is all about games and Game Pass, and get ready, it's all about the games. And then, 2 weeks later, we got this damn thing. So it's like, it's one of those where if you can't create these games fast enough and develop new studios, then just buy them all. If you have that open wallet, and it looks like they do now, open wallet, go ahead, go out there and buy it. Well, now, meaning as with Phil Spencer now, look, all these studios will purchase under.
They're more willing to do it now than they were before.
Exactly, they weren't doing it before. And when he was like, "Oh, we bought this studio and that one," and then of course we thought with the Bethesda for the $7 billion, we thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah,
and now with this one, it's like this blows that out the water.
It's literally 10 times more, almost.
Exactly. It's like, holy crap.
So, let us remind you, Marvel Comics or Marvel Entertainment was bought for way less.
Yeah, was it $2 billion, I believe? right? It's like, yeah.
And you hear that it's like up in the millions. I think Candy Crush makes every month still from
Yeah.
fucking microtransactions. So that's a cash cow. That's just going to start generating all their money back instantly. It's going to be interesting going forward to see how many of these games, because yes, Activision has a big back catalog and all this. How many do they just carry over? How many do they reboot? If they reboot some of the older ones, that
Something
everybody wants.
interesting about that, Uncle Phil, I believe even today he said that they do have plans to revive a lot of those old Activision franchises.
There you go. So you have not only the studios that they picked up through this acquisition, but then you have all the other studios. Then we're like, hey, what are you working on? Well, we sort of not sure. Here, fucking take this old shit, motherfucker. I'm like, okay, and then everybody.
Yeah, no, you're right. And there's a couple dudes out there like, oh man, I'm gonna get that Warcraft 4. Let's fucking go. They've been waiting for that.
StarCraft.
StarCraft goes, son.
StarCraft 3,
And that's all it takes, and that's a mic drop moment right there. But like, all right, we're working on some stuff. Remember that Ghost game that just we'll do that. See you next week. Poof.
Yeah, StarCraft Ghost.
Yeah. So it's huge. It's huge, and it does make me nervous in a way. It's not a monopoly of industry, but
it's not. People need to chill.
Yeah, but when you think about what's left, you got 2K, you got Ubisoft, and EA. When it comes to big publishers.
Yeah.
And out of all of those, the truth, I mean, I always thought EA was the next to drop because of how they've been dropping the ball with all the Star Wars IPs. I was like, shit, they're living on FIFA. And then a lot of, you see the countries trying to get to cut out the foot because of the microtransactions, loot box, all that shit. So I was like, shit, I thought maybe that'll be the next one. And who knows? That could be their next step. They're not done. That's the crazy part. When you start poking a bear as big as Microsoft, and it's like, oh look, we got this, we got that, we got better hardware, we're doing this, we're gonna get stuff. All they have to do is start mauling everyone, and that's what we're seeing right here. They're just like, you know what, fucking, and that was brought up in that documentary also when they were naive on the whole thing, and they were like, we'll just go buy Nintendo, and we all know how.
Yeah, and Nintendo literally left them out of the building.
Exactly. But it just shows that they have what we would say the cojones to say that they don't give a shit. They'll just go in and be like, all right, $1 million manslaughter, what's your price? And it looks like, especially with Activision being it's not a closed market. It's not a private company like Bethesda. It's open. They got shareholders, and with all the bad press that was going on, this sort of made sense. I could see all of them saying, "Hey, our stocks are tanking. We need something. We need out. We need to know we're gonna make money. What are we gonna do?" And then you got fucking Uncle Phil and his big wallet. It's like, yo, we can do this now. So,
if there's a stock that's not going to tank, it's not Microsoft. Microsoft's the second biggest company in the world.
No, not Microsoft. But that's what I'm saying.
Who's first? Amazon, right? Not that they really is Amazon.
No, it's
right?
Apple.
Oh yeah. Apple. That makes sense.
Yeah. So they're all happy with this shit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes from here. And yeah, I knew there was going to be a big backlash, and a lot of people are going to be upset. I mean, we'll get to it.
We'll get to that. Yeah,
where I think it's going to go. But it's going to be interesting because even though we know it's 2023, I don't think they can do anything prior to that. Meaning, like, some of the older games put that.
No, not yet. They have to wait. No, they can't. Yeah, remember the same thing with Bethesda. They didn't really start doing anything until the deal was sealed.
Yeah, but they didn't have to wait almost a full year. They didn't have to do that because it was a private company. It was only dealing with one. Now this and with all the other studios and
you're right.
There's a lot of moving parts, which is why they said this is going to take a lot longer. Because you're like, oh, that's it. Next. Like, I don't even. We'll get to it, but yeah. Either way, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Anybody else? Initial thoughts on the news when it dropped?
Yeah. Similar to you guys. I mean, I got woken up because of a barrage of messages and notifications. The first ones I checked was the text messages for from was it Adam? Adam, you were the first one, right? That message on the group chat.
Yeah, and I got it from Rich. Rich had like 3 or 4. I don't know what the fuck time. My phone was vibrating, and I looked, and it was from Rich, and I was like, "Oh, him and his fake news shit." And I was about to go to sleep. I was like, "Shit, wait, did Rich get this?" And it was like from IG, and I was like, "Is this a spoof site?" And then I just went to Microsoft. I went to Xbox site, and then they had it posted right there in their main site. I'm like, "Oh shit, this is legit. This is crazy." And then that's when I started sharing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
so
funny because usually Adam's the guy who's late with the gaming news in the chat. He's always like, "Oh, check out what happened there." It's like, "Yeah, Adam, that happened like 8 hours ago, bro."
This time he was almost breaking news.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell is going on this fucking early, man? Woke me up. I'm like, damn, gotta go to my computer, gotta check Twitter, gotta check the Discord, gotta check everything. And
no, when I saw Mob Hits going, "Yo, it's Robbie to throw you awake," I'm like, what happened? What's going on? Shout out to Mob Hits, and also shout out to JNL who's subscribed to us, man. Shout out to you, man. Our buddy there, Manny. You know.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, Carlos, go ahead. You were getting bombarded by it.
I was like I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, this makes sense. Yeah. I mean, and then I saw it was like 70 billion.
Close.
And it's like, yeah, man, I'm still kind of comprehending everything. The first thing that came to my mind, I'm like thinking, okay, so everyone assumed that after the Bethesda deal, that most of the games are going to be exclusive after that grace period where they had deals with other games. And to me, I'm like, they're definitely not going to make Call of Duty exclusive. They're not going to do it. They don't have the cojones to do it, like Adam said, because that's the cash cow. That's like one of the biggest gaming franchises in history. And I don't think that they would ever take the risk of the backlash of it removing it from PlayStation.
Yes. Put a pin on that because I think that's a very important point.
Only because for the longest time they've been talking about this Activision. Before this happened, they were talking about they were going to make Warzone its own thing because it was making so much money with the microtransactions. So they're like, what if we just make that free to play? And that was apparently the rumor for next year. Every year we hear it, but it gets closer and closer that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I can see that happening. I could see once this whole thing is done, and we don't know how long, because they said with the keeping existing contracts, all that stuff, Sony could have a deal with Activision of like 5 Call of Duties till like 2025 or 26. You know what I mean? We don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know.
but I will say this though. Let's just say for the sake of argument, even if they only have it for like one more Call of Duty, I think Warzone's safe. That's going to be multi-plat regardless.
It's going to stay everywhere.
Yeah, that we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, that's going to be
put that everywhere because that don't make them money.
If it was up to me, if I was Uncle Phil, I would. If he was me and I was him, I would make that shit exclusive on Game Pass.
Same.
I want the world to fucking burn.
The instant that ain't dry, it'd be like exclusive. You want to play it on our console? Excuse me.
You have to subscribe to our fucking service. Yep. That's a fucking boss move, man. That's something the Godfather would do. That's some. I'm gonna give him an offer. They can
think about this, Carlos. Think about this.
Yeah.
If it was the other way around, no fucking hesitation, PlayStation's locking that shit down exclusive. You Xbox niggas ain't getting shit. That's exactly what PlayStation would say.
Enrico, you best believe that shit's gonna be exclusive.
Yeah. It was like no, I said this. That was another one. That was another one of my initial gut impressions. Was like, they need to lock this shit down. Like, cut Sony off by the motherfucking knees with this shit. That's what I was preaching the moment this fucking news came out. But like we saw earlier today, Phil Spencer on the timeline, holier than thou. Don't worry, PlayStation guys, you won't be left out.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. But you're right about that. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it because and Carlos, again, put a pin on that tweet. Pin on what you said about the good guy Microsoft, because I think there's something to be said about that.
That's a whole nother topic.
Word in all
so we'll get into the PlayStation thing because I do have some thoughts on that, but I don't want to get into it just yet. Chris, get in here, man. By the way, welcome back, sir. It's been a while since you've been on Throwdown, man.
Hey, thank you.
It's not the same without you,
man. So Tuesday morning, it was my wife told me that Microsoft bought Activision, and instantly I felt better because I was like, motherfucker Kotick is finally gonna get fired. That's the first thing I thought about. I didn't even think about all the IPs, the money, whatever. I'm like, Uncle Phil is gonna clean up that fucking dirty company and just straighten everything out. So I'm glad that happened because I think they were on a downward trajectory. I don't think they could have fixed themselves. And I know there's we have topics later for
Yeah.
them kind of looking for buyers and all that stuff, but they needed someone to like kind of take over, and who has the capital to purchase them? That's a small number of companies, and I'm surprised there weren't more names in that list. I
Yo,
expected
Chris, we
I,
dodged the bullet because Facebook was going to be one of those companies. You know?
yes, that was a
Well,
bullet. I almost expected Amazon to be mentioned in there, considering they're getting into gaming now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, we
So
and Chris, we
yeah.
dodged the ultimate bullet. It's Tencent.
Oh,
Yes, exactly, because Tencent
yeah.
actually has the capital to do.
They do. Yeah.
If they had purchased, like, imagine them owning Call of Duty and all that stuff, man. Holy
Mhm.
shit.
Oh.
So I'd rather, yes, I know, like, we talk about like AA size studios and all that stuff. I do want that stuff to come in, but Activision Blizzard is a beast, and it's like an empire that's crumbling. They have dejected IPs. They're sitting on a mountain of capital. They run stuff into the ground. I've said for years that Bobby Kotick is terrible. He's a terrible person. There's plenty of articles you could read
Yeah.
on all the horrible shit he's done to his employees and how he constantly tries to downgrade staff and boost revenue, and then he boosts his own bonus based on their stock performance. Every year he
Yeah.
does this.
I feel if it wasn't for the issues that you just brought up with falls of a Bobby, this wouldn't have happened.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Right.
We're getting into that, but I want to get Chris. Do you have any more thoughts? Because I want to get Brett's thoughts next.
Oh, yeah, and also like Manny mentioned before, like if you think about this, Microsoft spent 10 times what Disney spent for Lucasfilm to buy Activision. That's how valuable game IPs are. When everybody's like, "Oh, Hollywood doesn't have this kind of money." Microsoft spent 10 times what all of Lucasfilm is worth
Yeah,
to get
exactly.
Activision, right? So just think about that, It's insane.
Crazy. All right, Brett, what'd you think of this crazy ass news? Because this is even beyond the Bethesda thing. This is way beyond.
So I am
10 times beyond it, literally.
I'm driving. I will be back.
Oh, he's driving?
Oh, he said I'm driving. I'll be back. I think I heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Brian, thoughts? Just, your initial thoughts when you heard this.
Well, I thought it was fake at first.
Brian, did you ask if it was an off-season April Fool's joke?
Not
Was
quite.
it like the Konami?
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
thought it was like that shit.
No, let's see if anybody got that joke,
Yep.
I thought it was like Babylon B or The Onion or something. Cause I'm like, nah, it's not real. So I just closed it down and just said, fuck it. It's probably fake. And then I come back and it's like everyone's just reporting on it. It's like, okay, you know what? I'll look into this now just to see what the hell's going on. It's like, and then my first thought was, wait, hold on, how much again? like they said billion, right? With a B, not an M, a B. I'm like, how the hell do they have that much money to spend? It's just insane. But yeah, I thought mostly the same things as you guys. It's like, okay, so I'm assuming that things will shake up royally in Activision, and probably some things will go exclusive. But I don't think anything beyond that, except because again, for the most part, I don't really care that much because I don't really play Activision games. I maybe dabble in Call of Duty every now and then, but I do it because my friends do it. So that's about it. But after that, I was like, I don't care that much. Let's see what happens.
Also,
Yeah.
you're a PC gamer, so you're good regardless. So if you're playing Call of Duty and all of them, that's you're in the world of PC, so that's not going to be impacted at all by this.
One thing that's interesting, and obviously, we all knew as soon as the news came out, and like Chris mentioned, Bobby Kotick and his regime is long fucking gone. Because remember, when they acquired Bethesda, they did that whole love parade with Pete Hines and Todd Howard, and they were talking about the future and how nothing was going to change in Bethesda and they're going to get better. None of that is happening with Bobby Kotick and these motherfuckers.
No.
So
yeah, it's funny, right? Because the day before something like came out about Activision and Bobby Kotick. Like they fired a bunch of other employees and shit, right? But yeah, as to my reaction, like after I got over the initial shock. By the way, I didn't have time to think it was fake because the first link I saw was from Xbox itself. Phil Spencer. By the way, you notice his new title, right? He's the CEO of Microsoft Gaming, not Xbox Gaming. His previous title, Microsoft Gaming. I think that's a very important point. So I didn't have time to really like think like, oh, it's fake. Like it was like, oh, this is real. But just like Chris, the first thing I'm like, Bobby, you are done, son. Like and you know, again, we're gonna get more into it. But I was just like, okay, this is what I think is gonna happen. Phil Spencer, as the new CEO of Microsoft Gaming, he doesn't want that stink around, right? He doesn't want that stink of Bobby Kotick around. So when the dust settles, at worst, Bobby, you know, worst being a relative term, right? At worst, Bobby Kotick's going to be outright fired. He's going to get $300 million, by the way, if he gets fired. Or, at quote-unquote best, he's given the American equivalent of a window seat, you know, where he's not really...
He don't need it. He doesn't need the money.
But either way, I think we all agree Bobby Kotick is done. And you know, there's a little bit of a segue to the next stuff we're going to talk about. We're going to kind of just I just threw the show notes in there just so we kind of keep in track, but we could kind of jumble things around. But this is what's going to happen, right? Like, or what did happen. Adam, you said it right there. If it wasn't for all this shit that Activision was going through, the sexual allegation, all this, they wouldn't have tried to sell themselves off. They're like, fuck that. But Microsoft tried to buy them before in the past. They're like,
they tried to buy a lot of the big
ones. They were like, no, we're good. Now Activision was looking to be bought. Why? Because of this shit, you know. And then with Microsoft's like image now, they're trying to be the good guy. Phil Spencer ain't keeping no Bobby Kotick around. And you know, I didn't realize that. You're right. It's like when the whole Bethesda deal was announced, it's like Kumbaya, Pete Hines, all this other shit. Where's Bobby Kotick at? You know,
but then on the flip side,
nobody wants to be seen next to that guy. You know.
Once this is done, think of all the talent that left, the good talent that left from Blizzard during that whole thing. They might all come back because you know it's under new management.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh wow, we don't have that issue going on.
Yeah. So right here, like one of the first things I'm reading, Activision approached Microsoft by the end of this. You know, Microsoft's probably like, oh, how the tables have turned. You know.
You know that scene with Thanos. Where did your failures lead you? Right back to me.
Yo, shit. So we have that. Yeah. Activision pursued. They even went after Facebook. Like, you want to buy us? I guess Facebookers were like, fuck this shit. You know, which is saying something. Bobby Kotick, man, scummy dude. You know. And even EA was reportedly in the mix for the Activision Blizzard deal. So, yeah, we could talk about all this stuff now, man. It's like, what do you guys think? Like, just like, I think we all agree. It's like, if it wasn't for these scandals, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
The scandal, that was the first domino, and that trickled everything down, and that got all the shareholders scared. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, Activision over the last year has been down 33%. So they're hurting. The PR nightmare, I don't think was resolvable by doing it internally. So there were damaged goods. But I mean, if I remember correctly, they sold like at $95 a share, so they got a pretty good fucking deal on their shares, so Microsoft can take over. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm just thinking like there's only a handful of companies that can actually purchase Activision. Microsoft is the logical example because it has Xbox and it has a reputation with gaming and creating consoles and stuff like that. Honestly, Tencent is the second most obvious one because they've been gobbling up other studios and they're doing pretty like big things with games and they have Epic and all that stuff. So, but you know, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, I don't trust any of those. I hardly even trust Microsoft to do this, to be honest. But that's the one that I think is the one that I would be most happy with out of all of the likely ones.
The lesser of the lesser of the other.
By the way,
evils.
Carlos.
Yes.
Slight correction.
Yeah.
Oh,
you mean Meta?
Oh yeah, Meta. Yeah.
Oh man, no, but you're right. It's like out of all the possible like entities I could have bought Activision, yeah, we got lucky that it was Microsoft. Because that would have been bad if it was fucking Meta,
Google,
you know?
Google, can you imagine if Google bought it and said this is all exclusive to Stadia?
To Stadia, let's go.
Stadia.
Oh,
You know?
no.
Other than
raise
John
their-
Christ,
oh,
I don't see
man.
anybody.
Oh no, Tencent would keep a multi-plat, dude. You know, to bank assets. By the way, I forgot to say real quick, just my personal thing. It's like it doesn't affect me because I don't play. I don't remember the last time I bought an Activision game. Like you know, like I think it was like Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 2. You know,
No.
Yeah,
Be
I
honest,
don't-
Tony.
which one?
Be honest. It doesn't affect you because you got all the consoles. You think this shit's funny.
Oh no, there is a part of me that wants Call of Duty to be exclusive on Xbox, just so I can see Twitter explode. I will freely admit that, you know. But I've never been a Call of Duty guy, you know. So it doesn't like if I was a PlayStation guy, I wouldn't give a shit, and if I was an Xbox, I wouldn't give a shit because I wouldn't be playing Call of Duty anyway. You know, so it's not about only consoles. It's just I don't care for Activision games. They do not make anything I care about.
You like Diablo.
You know what I'm saying, Brett? I don't care for any other games. I don't care about Diablo. I don't Overwatch. I don't give a. Sorry, Gary. I don't care about Overwatch. You know.
I'm playing Overwatch.
Yeah. Okay, Brett. Oh, now we actually hear your beautiful voice. So, what you think of this whole, you know, your initial thoughts when you first heard the news?
Oh, first thing I thought of is I want to find the people that were saying Xbox didn't have enough games 6 months ago.
Wait, they were saying this 6 months ago after they bought Bethesda? Because those people are stupid then.
Well, yeah, but there were still some of them that were still kind of like, oh, I mean, they don't have any games yet. And like, it's funny because now on Twitter you see so many people being like, well, no, this is a monopoly. And I'm like, so we went from Xbox doesn't have any games to Xbox is a monopoly without them actually even fucking releasing something. I have never seen something so goddamn weird in my life.
Yeah. No, I noticed that too. Like suddenly dudes are talking about antitrust laws. I'm like, you weren't saying that before, were you? You know?
Yeah, like, well, they have a monopoly. They haven't released any games. Like, we're still in the exact same place.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, you know when somebody drops what $80 billion total, not just this, but like including all of their assets, they probably spent $80 billion. Like, you don't drop $80 billion unless you bring in the heat. Like, this shows me Microsoft is ready to fucking
all
rumble.
in. That's it. It's all in. They're like, push all the chips.
Yeah, they're like, fine, let's do this shit. Let's rumble. And to me, watching them half-ass the entire last generation, to me it seems like, okay, Fighter's finally coming back in. Like, Goku has been in the fucking healing tank the entire goddamn season, and now all of a sudden he comes showing up. So I'm really excited.
More like he's been charging up the Spirit Bomb this whole time.
Yeah.
All this goddamn money from last generation from Xbox Live alone. We gonna drop that shit right now on you, Frieza.
Dude, right? Like, you fucking see Goku, you're like, you ain't got nothing. You look up a giant Spirit Bomb labeled $70 billion. You're like, oh no!
Basically, where the hell did that come from? Game Pass, nigga.
Just emptying buckets of money on the table. Take this shit.
No, it's more like where did that shit come from? Windows, baby.
Yeah,
right?
It's basically just like the Spirit Bomb. It came from everything they've been sucking up.
This came from Sony. They're paying our Azure bills.
Yeah, this is 90 Doctor Strange portals all opening at the same time. Kind of
that shit is funny. I never thought about it. He's dropping a Genki Dama on motherfuckers. Oh man. No, but yeah, go ahead, bro.
Oh, I was saying they're ready to fucking play. They're not fucking around. And one of the interesting things I saw about this, and I heard a lot of people kind of almost get close to this, I think this is a big deal for PC gamers. Like if you look at World of Warcraft and especially StarCraft. StarCraft is a hardcore. That thing will never die. It is huge among PC players. I feel like Xbox is kind of catering more towards PC gamers with this move because they're not like you guys said, they're not going to make Call of Duty exclusive. They're not going to make Overwatch exclusive.
For now.
Those are just passive incomes. No, because here's the thing. Call of Duty has a player base that's too big and too profitable. It would just be a poor business decision to make it exclusive. Yeah, it would, and it wouldn't even do that much on the brand because, like you guys said, you get so much backlash that even the brand that you would be building wouldn't be worth it. So I just feel like it's not worth it. What they'll subtly do is develop Call of Duty for the Xbox and port it to the PlayStation so it's an inferior copy, and then they'll be able to say, Call of Duty plays best on PlayStation or plays best on Xbox.
Hold on. I got to stop because they're going to do something better than that, Brett. better than that. By the way,
Exclusive content.
yeah, exactly. By the way, you can't really. We don't really have like what there's a name for it. Like console you build on that doesn't exist anymore. Everything's built on PC. Right, so that notion. But this is what I think they're going to do. This is me speculating right now. Even I think it's a educated guess, right? So Microsoft is going to have all the DLC, all the exclusive stuff on Game Pass for 3 months minimum, probably 6 months, right? Right. And think about this: you as a gamer, what sounds more enticing as a Call of Duty gamer? $70 to play Call of Duty on PlayStation. Let me finish. $70 to play Call of Duty on PlayStation. Or $15 a month to get Call of Duty and all its content on day one through Game Pass.
Oh, and don't
Every year.
Microsoft is gonna,
content.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Microsoft, they're not gonna, by the way, that whole notion that they're gonna make the game inferior, that's silly. But they're gonna incentivize you to get on Xbox because it is gonna be better to play it on Xbox. It is.
I don't mean that they're gonna like make it inferior. I'm saying they're just going to focus on the the performance and the experience on Xbox. And when you do that, like even now, we still get games that play better on one system than another because they're developed natively.
Not really this generation. This generation, they're pretty much the same. Like on Xbox, they look better. On PlayStation, they run a little bit. But again, it's negligible because every game's built on PC. But the point is, they're gonna get you on Xbox through the incentives, the exclusives. So
wait,
and again, why would what happened?
You said 3 months.
Oh no, I'm just saying. I'm just using it as a baseline. A minimum.
Just remember, every first party game from Microsoft stays on Game Pass. They never leave.
No. I'm talking about exclusive DLC content. You know, how Call of Duty always has expansions and shit. Season pass. They can even do some crazy shit like, hey, on PlayStation you got to buy a season pass. On Xbox you don't. We can do some shit like that.
I think that they're not going to get a Call of Duty period. They'll just get Warzone. That's it.
Well, no,
Warzone.
And I'm just saying, because I do believe that Microsoft will cut that Call of Duty tap eventually, right? But I'm just saying, if they decide to keep it multi-plat, talking about new Call of Duty, so they decide to keep it multi-plat, that's what they're going to do. They're going to.
But here's the thing. Why?
No, I'm saying if.
No, I know, but hear me out. There's no incentive to do that. Right? Like
there is. Build up Xbox Game Pass. That's the incentive.
Yeah, well, like you said, they will have like the season pass on Game Pass, but they won't be like, oh, it's you have to buy it here. They'll just say, here's all the things included with Game Pass, and then they'll make the other motherfuckers for $70 for the base game, $30 for the Game Pass, $100 a person. They're still making money hand over fist, and it looks good for Xbox. A half-step measure in here, I think, is going to be what they're going to do.
That's fair. Oh, I'm because I keep alluding to this. I'll just jump on it now. Yes, I think a good reason that Microsoft may want to consider keeping it multi-plat is because what have we been saying about Xbox this generation? They're being good guy, right? Good guy Phil, right? If they decide, hey, fuck you, PlayStation gamers, you're not getting shit, that's going to make them look very bad. I think the optics of it, of taking the games off PlayStation, would be, it would look bad. So that's a reason for that. Even though it is within their power to go like they did with Bethesda, they said, "Oh, this shit is exclusive. Fuck you guys." It's within their power, but you're right. The optics would, because this is Call of Duty. This is the biggest gaming franchise out there, second to Grand Theft Auto.
Overwatch.
And Overwatch. Yeah.
On a yearly basis, it's a number one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's Call of Duty. So I think you are kind of persuading me. It's like they probably will keep it multiplied just because of the optics. Right, it would just look bad, but again, you're gonna make you want.
It's free on Game Pass.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna make you want to get it on Xbox instead.
No. Hold on.
Money out of Call of Duty. It's Warzone. Warzone is making.
Go ahead, Brett. Go ahead.
Let's put away the speculation for a second and nail something the fuck down. Call of Duty is now being developed by a company that Xbox owns, which makes it an Xbox first-party title, which makes it a free day of drop on Game Pass. That's how it's going to be. Nobody is arguing that.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay $70 for it on PlayStation. That right there is enough. Like, we don't even have to take that discussion further in terms of Call of Duty. Free Call of Duty or pay for it plus all of the, plus the season pass, plus all of the extras, plus you don't get the free cosmetics that you get on Game Pass.
Brett, I literally said that like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're pushing, like, it can be just that simple, and I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
All
right. Because again, just like you said, and I said, it's just very simple. Get Call of Duty Day One on Game Pass that you're already paying for, or pay $70 on PlayStation. Pretty simple. Pretty simple.
I was pointing out that is guaranteed to happen. This is speculation. That is a thing that Call of Duty will be free on Xbox, not free on PlayStation. We as much as know this. We're not guessing.
Yeah. And of course, again, on top of that, again, this is me guessing. All the DLC shit is going to come first to Game Pass, then on PlayStation. Because right now it's the other way around. Right now, it's the DLC comes out on PlayStation and then on Xbox.
But a lot of that stuff has been squashed away because of Warzone. Because everything now is through battle passes. So if you do that, then you're gimping the game completely. Because that's the whole point.
That's interesting.
You have to. That's the whole thing of going into playing Warzone is that you're working toward these items, or you'll pay for the battle pass.
Yeah.
So they can't do that. It's going to be tricky with that. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see Game Pass get on PlayStation for everything, if that's their way.
Well, we've been talking about that for a while.
Adam, question though: doesn't the yearly, I'm not talking about Warzone right now, but don't the yearly releases of Call of Duty have their own individual multiplayer associated with it, correct?
They have their own multiplayer, yeah.
Correct.
And Warzone, but they don't have the DLC. They don't have the season passes that they used to.
Okay, see, that's what I didn't know.
Yeah, they don't do it that way now. They give you all the maps and they start dropping, but they'll come in other little. Most of the maps is free, but a lot of the cosmetics and stuff and weapons and all that. That's all linked to the battle passes for the seasons, which are every 3 months. Okay. That's what keeps people playing and buying, and that's why they're making all this money. The big money that we're seeing, it's not because people are just playing the same wars, multiplayer modes and the campaign. It's because they're spending all their money and time in Warzone. So
they still make a nice chunk of their money out of the yearly releases of Call of Duty.
Because that's the only way to get it. That's the only way to get all that. That's it. That's why a lot of people are like, well, they're eventually going to have to break it off because no one's really playing any of the other shit, but they definitely want to play Warzone.
Well, I mean,
all that money.
No, I'm just talking. No, I was just talking about like I said, I was only talking about the people who, like, they see the new yearly release of Call of Duty, they go out and buy it. That money in particular. Like last year,
it's significant.
Even though that Call of Duty is considered Call of Duty Vanguard considered one of the worst Call of Duties to come out, it's still charting at the tops of the sales for last year. Mm-hmm. And same for the individual yearly release of Call of Duty the year before that. So and that's not necessarily going to change when we reach the end of this year. I'm just talking about like the revenue they make from the individual Call of Duties. They have that under their belt. I
hope as the time passes that we find out exactly how long these existing contracts last, because it's going to be, they're all different. Like we just said with the Overwatch and all the other games that are also on PlayStation, we don't know how many, if there's like, oh, we're good for the next 2 Overwatches. Okay, that could be, we know the next one's coming up, but then the one after that could be another 3-4 years down the road. And that definitely has to come out on PlayStation because that's honoring that contract. Same thing with Call of Duty. We don't know. We're talking about Call of Duty, but shoot, Sony could have made a crazy ass deal with them. Because we know they did make some big ass deal, which is why they were getting all the other exclusive stuff before when they were having it. So, we'll have to see. Hopefully that information gets released.
Well, time.
Yeah, no, I mean we're not going to see a lot of this stuff for a little bit. But Rich, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Just want to make a real quick comment to piggyback off of what Brett said earlier. The one thing that Brett said. I think a lot of people miss is that, you said now that Microsoft owns Activision, yes, you do expect to see Call of Duty on Game Pass, but even if somebody plays the game on PlayStation, doesn't Microsoft not get a cut of those sales as well? Since
most definitely,
so they win either way.
See, but we all thought that with the Bethesda, and they're still going to make Starfield exclusive. They're still going to make big ones, and they know everybody wants that game.
Here's the difference, Adam, and here's the thing I want to point out. Notice how much of their acquisition is games as a service. Overwatch, Call of Duty, StarCraft are all cleverly disguised games as a service, which is Microsoft's MO. So I don't think that I think that's going to be the thing. Games as a service where you're really focusing on player count, I think they'll make those multi-plat because they just make more money.
Well, everyone's missing the point with this whole thing. The Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Doom, they don't hold a fucking candle against Call of Duty when it comes to sales and comes to making money. So the reason why Call of Duty is a big issue is because it is the biggest franchise. I think I don't care what GTA sells. I still think Call of Duty is the biggest franchise just out of sheer revenue. They probably make
yearly basis. That's why I threw that in there.
From a yearly basis and
do they have the stranglehold? Like that's my question. Like you have Call of Duty, yes, it makes a ton of money, but if they went like exclusive, the PR hit might allow Battlefield to catch up. Like Battlefield's constantly on Call of Duty's heels, isn't it?
No.
Okay.
So I think it was a generation or so ago.
So, bro, you keep going back to the topic that you thought you were debating Tony with, but you actually weren't.
Brett loves to do that. He loves to argue
with
me. Debating. Yeah.
No, because I don't think anyone thinks that they're gonna make Call of Duty exclusive.
Not anymore after Phil Spencer's statement, you know, because Carlos, I was fully on board with that. Now I'm like, I'm not sure about that. But then again, as I thought more about it,
he said it in that statement. He said existing.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying I'm talking about what I said, what I thought before that statement. Understand?
Or you thought he was just gonna cut everything?
Yeah, I was like, I could just like he did with Bethesda. With Bethesda, I was like, fuck that, we're done. This is our shit now, you know. I thought it was gonna be the same deal, but after the tweet today, and then after thinking it over, it's like, hold on, it would actually be smarter to charge PlayStation guys $70, you know.
So Tony, maybe you guys know this. Yeah. I heard that what Phil said was really a response that's from someone from Sony who was interviewed and said that they hope Microsoft honors their existing contracts that they had with Activision.
Well, it kind of was, but they talked to the Sony people before
he said that. He said it because there was some outlet, and that's why I don't.
Yeah. Sony was saying that they hope that Microsoft honors.
Yeah. So that's what it was. So that's
and then Phil responded the next day saying, "We talked with Sony, and we don't have any plans on moving on with our agreements and keeping Call of Duty playable for everyone." And that's when Tony said they're doing the good thing or the quote unquote.
But that's also smart PR because you don't want to gimp all these games right now because you still have a full year before this acquisition takes place. So you don't want everybody just saying, I'm not buying any more of their fucking games. And if I can't play, they're going to fucking turn it off. I'm going to go in one day and it's going to say, hey, you're going to go have to get an Xbox or a PC, bitch. I'm like, what? No. So
I want to throw this out there too. Sorry, Carlos. Let me just throw this out there real quick. In regards to PlayStation guys who only play like Call of Duty PlayStation is their Call of Duty station, right? That's all they fucking buy every year. Only that one game. You know, the Dude Bros. You know, they'll buy that. Maybe
the Mountain Dew motherfuckers.
I don't know. I have a bunch of those on my Xbox, but I don't know. Anybody in the chat?
My brother. My brother's one of them.
Your brother's like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't play the guys. Mike's brother's
every
like that too. He only plays Call of Duty games. That's all he does.
Adam, you got PlayStation, but on PlayStation.
Yeah, on PlayStation.
Adam, you gotta realize last generation there was a migration when it came to these types of gamers. Xbox 360 had a huge stranglehold on the Call of Duty community.
I remember
a lot of
because they weren't getting that exclusive with the season passes, and remember that you have it for one full year and all that shit for the content. Yeah, I remember. Mm-hmm. I just I didn't know if there was people just buying it. I know for football and stuff people do that. You know, they'll buy a console just to play fucking Madden.
I think this is another Adam. That was I think one of the main reasons why Sony did a lot of Call of Duty incentives because those people do exist, and it's a heavy amount of the masses that are their PlayStation isn't the PlayStation, it's the Call of Duty station. My brother, like I said, my brother is one of them. I talk to him every holiday. I'm like, oh, what you been playing? The latest Call of Duty. Oh fucking! Have you played anything
about this? Did you talk about this?
Yeah, I told him, and he was before we knew, Xbox was gonna keep it on PlayStation. He was like, "Well, time to get an Xbox." I was like, "Really, nigga?" But after he found out,
what the game is. That's his loyalty to the IP. That's it.
Exactly. Yep. And I was trying to explain this to one of my other friends in regards to these Call of Duty guys, bro. Call of Duty is where they will fucking go. Who remembers in the PlayStation 3 era when it was down for a month? Where did all those Call of Duty niggas go? Straight to Xbox.
Yup.
Doesn't matter.
The PlayStation out.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter if it was down for a month. During that time, they didn't know when the fuck the shit was gonna come back. All they knew is they needed to play that goddamn Call of Duty. And Xbox Live got that shit right now.
I remember that very well.
These Xbox, these Call of Duty niggas are built different.
Different. No, but that's right. That's what they're like. Yeah, that is. I've been at this shit for 2 days.
My controller design.
And here's the thing, though. So in regards to console familiarity and whatnot, I would think that's the second most important thing to these guys too. And the reason I say that is because, like I said, my brother was willing to jump ship when he heard it was possibly only gonna be on Xbox. But when he heard it was gonna stay on PlayStation, he didn't jump ship even for the incentives. And what I'm saying about that is, when you are one of these Call of Duty guys, right? And the only thing you play every year is Call of Duty, you're only spending, in regards to like spending money on games, it's only you're only paying for one game a year.
Yeah.
Right?
And if you,
especially
like all the battle passes and all that, and buying
I'm not entirely sure if he does or not. I'm gonna put my money on it and say that he doesn't. He's one of those he's one of those basic bitch gamers. He just goes in there and plays until his eyes bleed, and then he just moves on. Right? Whenever the next Call of Duty comes out, he'll do the fucking same thing. He'll only spend however much that Call of Duty of that year cost with his PlayStation and this dirty ass analog. He's one of those, right? The dusty ones. And there's a lot of them out there. You'll never hear anything about them because they're not online talking to you or in the Twitters. They're playing Call of Duty until their eyes bleed, right? So what I'm trying to say is that even with Xbox owning Call of Duty and them keeping it on PlayStation, and what Tony was saying, yeah, it's $70. Charge these motherfuckers $70, and yeah, that's a win for that's technically a win for both PlayStation and Xbox, because obviously Xbox owns Call of Duty now, so they get a cut of that, and PlayStation wins because $70 games they're winning from it too. And when it comes to these Call of Duty guys, when this the only fucking game they buy a year, they don't give a fuck about $70. Like if it was one of us, and we're buying multiple games a year, $70 dropping it, left and right. God help us next month and the month after that, right? But it's like for these guys, it's one fucking game a year. $70. Call of Duty, I'm gonna play it. It's for them, it's worth it, right?
No, Rick, do the voice. I play that Call of Duty. No,
I play that Call of Duty, baby. That one. But no, you see where I'm coming from, right?
No, you're right.
To them,
you're
it's
right.
one game. It's one game a year. So $70 to them ain't shit. So when you hear them, when an Xbox guy comes over to them and they're like, "Oh, I'm playing it day one on Xbox Game Pass for free, baby." You're like, I don't care. I'm playing Call of Duty.
Go ahead. You just brought up a point, though. You said a lot of people jump ship when that happened.
Yeah,
I'm sure Microsoft noticed that. So that could be another incentive to make it exclusive. To get them
no. That's why I said they should have been cutthroat, because that would have like my brother. A lot of motherfuckers would have jumped ship to Xbox, and PlayStation would have been the biggest fucking humble smack to the face since the PlayStation 3 $600. If they would have been back to the drawing board.
I think if they could have worked out this deal as quick as they did with the Bethesda, they probably would have done that.
But here's the thing, like they were saying, like they're saying, they're playing the holier than thou narrative, so they can still either path they went down, they could have made a shit ton of money. One, obviously to cut Sony by the knees, they would have made a shit ton of money by all the people migrating over. Or the other path where they play it holier than thou and just keep it multi-platform and $70, they still make money either way. So since they're already on this holier than thou narrative, they might as well just keep on playing it. They're going to make money either way path.
Wouldn't it be another holy point for him if Uncle Phil said, "Hey, listen, you PlayStation guys can have it. Just tell Sony to put Game Pass."
That's been speculated.
Here's a thought.
Then you're all good. Stay on your console. Just tell them you want your Game Pass.
Here's the problem, Adam. A lot of people don't necessarily want to switch over. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think your character transfers from system to system. Like it's separate architecture. You can't necessarily.
that's on the back end. That's something.
Wait,
Microsoft
isn't there already
fixes if they
crossplay
want to.
between Xbox and
No,
PlayStation?
there's crossplay. There's crossplay.
There's
and
crossplay,
on-
but you
on-
can't like quit your Call of Duty game on
You're talking
PlayStation.
about
Go
cross-
buy an
Oh yeah,
Xbox
no, that doesn't
and
exist.
pick it
Yeah,
up
you're
there.
talking about cross progression. That's a different thing.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, but that could be done as a switch just in the back end, and we've seen it happen.
Exactly.
So if Microsoft says, "Hey, all you guys want to jump over, scared to
Mhm.
lose your profile," we can do that. One-time transfer, and you're in.
Adam's
By the
got
way,
it. And see, that's the problem. That's the reason. Like, as much as the people that you play with, you don't want to lose your progression. They have
Yeah.
the ability to now go, because before, like, EA did, or Activision Blizzard didn't give a shit about that, but now that it's owned by Xbox, Microsoft, they can go and say, yeah, we could just swap you over. All you gotta do is go buy an Xbox, log in, boom,
But
done.
Here's another thing. If you're one of those like I said, if you're one of these basic bitch Call of Duty players, and they don't necessarily play Warzone, right? So we're not talking about Warzone right now. We're only talking about the annual Call of Duty releases. That's the one my brother plays, right? If you're talking about those guys, right? In regards to cross progression, as far as I'm aware, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Adam. Your progression from one annual Call of Duty doesn't move over to the next annual Call of Duty. You start over, right?
No, yeah, you start
start
over.
Like from a multiplayer standpoint. So
By the way-
in regards to cross progression, that wouldn't be necessarily something that would be enticing to them. But in regards to
it would be for
losing
the
their
game. It would be for that game.
No,
like let's say if there was
yeah,
some
no,
kind
I
of
understand that. Let me
Vanguard
finish.
2 and
Yeah,
Vanguard
I
2,
understand. I understand that. Like I said, I'm talking about the ones that as soon as the next Call of Duty comes out, this current Call of Duty means nothing to me. I want to play the new one. Like there's a lot. My brother's one of them. There's a lot of.
I
That's why
want.
they sell
I
like crazy every year. But what I'm trying to say is in regards to the what I'm saying. Let me just get this last point out. In regards to the people that you remember previously, people didn't want to transfer over because they're friends. And we're talking about the normalization of not crossplay. Crossplay.
Yeah, crossplay.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a thing. A thing that keeps people on a console anymore either. You know. So that's all I have to say. Go ahead, Brett.
When you say that, there is an annual time when the Call of Duty comes out and everybody kind of makes that switch and you switch your characters. But what I'm hearing is there's a 2-week window once a year where you can change your alliance on Call of Duty. The rest of the year, fuck it, you've already started.
Brett, I think and I'm with Riku on this whole cutthroat shit because I rather Xbox be cutthroat and be like, motherfucker, we bought this shit for $70 billion.
That's what I want too. Be cutthroat, bro.
Here's the thing. I understand. Go ahead.
Well, before that, not only would that be a gangster move, but just think about it. We're in a new generation. We are in a crazy ass fucking shortages. 2023, next Call of Duty comes out. People want to play Call of Duty. Oh, it's only available on Xbox? Oh, which system is the most readily available to buy? Oh, the Xbox Series S. Oh, well, I don't even have a PS5. Might as well just buy the cheap console that's going to play it anyways.
That's a good
and play
point.
my Call of Duty.
Yeah, because the Call of Duty guys ain't caring about fucking graphics. They just want to play their Call of Duty. You know?
Yeah, as long as it looks good enough.
Yeah, so they'll buy the cheapo console and play it. Yeah, I agree with that. You know,
I can almost guarantee you, if my brother, if they were cutthroat, and my brother's like, oh, time to get an Xbox, that motherfucker would have got a Series X. Series, what's the cheap one? Yeah, Series S. Yeah, he would have got a Series S and just kept it moving.
Yeah, go ahead, Rich.
So I have a quick question. Is it possible for us to hear Annie Spencer's take on this development?
Well,
I'm
not exactly sure.
Yeah. By the way, I just realized that Phil Spencer there looks like Claude from GTA 3. You know. Yeah, Manny, what is your perspective on all this? We didn't get your take.
Well, my perspective on it is, I mean, in general, it seems. Well, the first thing I have to say about this is you realize that right now, Microsoft owns pretty much owns most of the history of Western game development.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. At this point in time,
Crash Bandicoot, damn, that was a Sony.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoots. Crash Bandicoot, friggin' Spyro the Dragon. All these different titles.
They own Doom.
They already own Doom. They own Pitfall. So all that stuff is all under one of their umbrella. And you know how
Banjo-Kazooie.
yep. Yes, they do. They own Banjo-Kazooie as well, and that's from Rare.
Yeah,
So
Rare.
the thing about it is, it's like because they have this wide range of stuff. Now officially, you can say that they don't actually need to have Japanese game development.
Yeah.
They don't actually even need to care about the Japanese.
Benny, you know who else said that?
Who's
Sony.
that?
Sony.
Yeah. So, Sony, when they closed down Japan studio and a bunch of other studios, it's funny when you hear about all the closures that they did at the time. It's like now they're looking even more stupid because like literally they could double down on the things that make them unique, right? But yet no, they're closing down these studios that make them unique. So again, and then now they literally, you can't say that Microsoft doesn't have any games because they literally have a bunch of franchises, a ridiculous amount of franchises that that people know and people will continue to buy. Call of Duty itself, in general, there are people that just they only play Call of Duty for every single year.
I'm thinking about if they put I know they're gonna put all the Call of Duties on Game Pass, but if they have multiplayer working on all of those, that's going back to play Call of Duty 2 on multi. That's gonna be ridiculous to play these older ones. That's gonna be fun. I can't wait. Meet me in the middle, bitches.
And then the amount of then the amount of legacy that they had, like I said. So it's the best situation they could possibly be in because there's so many reasons why you as a Western gamer would want to play any of the games that they have because they have so much. And like even Phil himself, he wants to resurrect some things that haven't been seen in a while.
Yeah,
what if they redid Pitfall and it was like an Uncharted game?
It's possible. It could be like Indiana Jones. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So yeah.
Uncharted.
I mean,
Pitfall.
that I don't. It's scary in the sense of how much that they spent to do this. They just literally Sauroned it, just like blew it out of the water and did this. But I think in general it'll do the most to repair the reputation of Activision Blizzard itself.
It also shows how much money they're willing to throw into this, because for the longest time, I mean, even now, we even said, like, are we sure that Microsoft can do? I mean, they're speaking with their wallet. They're showing it's like, hey, to prove a point, look at all the money we're willing to spend to become a major player. For everyone to stop saying we're the second best, third best. We are. Just throw us up there. Don't have to put us at first, second, third. Just say they're one of the major players. And that's it.
So I mean, and this whole Microsoft, Phil becoming the head of Microsoft Games, that also shows you exactly what their future is, and the future that we have been saying since they even began the inklings of this Game Pass thing, is that they are not concerned with a console. They're concerned with getting you into the ecosystem to play anything, anywhere.
Man,
so that means That means on your Windows system. That means on your television, on the actual Xbox. All of it's all the same.
I think the biggest step for them now, because like you said, getting you into the ecosystem, you can see them. If you had to make a visual depiction of them, they're like an octopus taking its tentacles and just sticking it into certain places and just sucking the revenue out of it. Like they with Candy Crush now own, they're sucking it the revenue out of the mobile gaming side, which they've been trying to get their foot inside there. They fucking own Candy Crush now. Candy Crush makes fucking millions every year. I would say in regards to one of those things that everyone's alluding to or thinking that it might happen is obviously getting Game Pass on Nintendo and PlayStation. I think that's like their final.
If this takes off, if this all works, and we look back and we're like, shit, they're one of the players. Phil Spencer, Uncle Phil, he's getting a statue. They're gonna make a fucking statue, and this is history in the making. As we become old men, and then our kids.
Cabinet behind you, you're gonna have one of them statues of him up there, boy.
And they're gonna be like, "Yeah, you guys used to play games when you were kids." Like, I remember when Uncle Phil took control of all of this. And he changed the world. He changed everything. He started buying stuff, and I'm like, "Shut up, Grandpa!" I'm like, "Fuck you." and then you walk into the room and you play your old consoles. But I'm telling you, if he does it, that he's the most important person besides Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer to hit that company.
I would say in regards to, I know usually you don't really care, you don't really compare certain aspects of like the mobile industry to gaming industry. They obviously have their differences, but they also have their similarities too. You know, like in regards to if I have an Android and somebody here has an iPhone, we can still communicate with each other, right? So it's like slowly but surely, with we could use crossplay, for example, people on PlayStation playing with other platforms and whatnot. There's definitely like a possibility of a future where you could be in a party chat with Xbox and Nintendo guys all in the same party chatting. They're on your friends list and all that stuff, because crossplay is kind of like the first step towards that. So it's like in regards to you turn on your phone and you see a whole bunch of apps. They're not necessarily made by Android, right, or Apple or whatnot. But yeah, turning on your PlayStation and seeing the Game Pass app. But I think before that happens, we're hearing stuff about PlayStation Spartacus and them trying to do stuff about that, and it's just revenues from that console that have applications on there that you as a consumer have a choice of utilizing. So when you look at it that way, yeah, there is a possibility that you could see Game Pass on a PlayStation platform, but I think before that even is considered by PlayStation, they would probably have their Spartacus up and working and looking enticing enough for you to, by the time you decide to use Game Pass on your PlayStation, you would have like Spartacus right there for you to decide. But the possibility of that happening is definitely like.
And then now
here's the thing, just real quick. And I've said this a million times, and I'm going to keep on saying it. If Xbox Game Pass ever does come to PlayStation, it'll have to be heavily modified, as in the only games you'll be able to play on Game Pass will be Xbox exclusives. No, Sony's not going to want you to play third-party games on Game Pass when you could play them on Spartacus instead. So, again, even Phil himself has said he is not against PlayStation having Xbox Game Pass, but it's going to be modified. You're not going to be playing no third-party games on that shit. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, yeah. But if there was Game Pass on PlayStation, let's say there was right on your,
it'll just be Xbox exclusives.
Yeah, when you hit on that and you like load it up and it's like loading up the games, it'll ask you it'll most likely ask you to log into your Xbox login shit before you even see all that.
Exactly.
Shit, So at that point, you're basically just playing an Xbox with a PlayStation controller on a PlayStation, because you're still unlocking achievements and all that other shit.
Hold on, real quick. Jay Shep goes, Tony, would Sony put Spartacus on Xbox? Probably not. So Sony is not as generous like that, man.
Speaking of services,
but then again, they go ahead.
So that's just because we're talking about services. That's another service that's coming to Xbox, and I haven't heard any announcement for PlayStation. I thought at first I was like, oh, that just means.
So remember, Sony has a history of that. Remember when EA Play, they did not want it on their system for a long time.
Tony, I would like you to think about this as well, though. If you ask a PlayStation guy or just a regular gamer,
I'll ask you then.
Well, if you asked me, sure, you'll use me. If you asked me a couple years ago. Let's say fucking the PlayStation, midway through the PlayStation 4 generation, would we see games like God of War on PC? I would have told you ass no, nigga. You stupid if you think that shit's gonna happen. But we live in a world now where niggas are playing fucking God of War on PC. They're doing all the mods, giving them googly eyes and shit. I saw that, but it's like. The fact that we live in a world now that PlayStation is willing to put their games on PC, it's like when he asked that question, could you see PlayStation Spartacus on Xbox? When you sit down and think about it, especially how much they've changed in the couple of years, I could see it, because think about this: you're sitting there on PC. And all of these things at this point, Steam and Epic, all of it, they're just fucking launchers. And if Xbox Game Pass is on your PlayStation, there's no, you could just look at that as a fucking Game Pass launcher on your PlayStation. So if there is a possibility that in the future we will probably see a PlayStation launcher on PC just to launch all of your PlayStation games
Oh
on your PC.
God, I hope so because Riku, because I beat God of War for the 3rd time on PC. I'm like, man, my trophies,
you need
man.
exactly.
My trophies
So,
at,
Wait,
man.
did any trophies pop from Steam? Did you get?
I got
trophies?
Steam achievements, but it's like,
Yeah, Steam
again, Steam achievements are fucking whack. I want my trophies, you know?
Yeah, so it's like, I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility that we could see Spartacus, especially if it's at a level where it's enticing.
Rico, I'll give you this. If Xbox Game Pass comes to PlayStation, then yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, no, yeah, you could definitely see the shuffle.
Oh, and I would love it too because it'd be like, okay, keep going with your console war bullshit. You could play PlayStation on Xbox and Xbox on PlayStation.
Exactly.
What do you have
And
left
then
to fight about, motherfuckers?
Exactly. You really don't have shit to fight about after that. And then the fucking Microsoft and
no, but I got the better controller. I got the better controller. Switch the controllers then. You know.
Okay. I just jump in like really quick.
I knew Brian was going to come in. You're going to defend the
No.
you're going to defend Steam achievements, aren't you?
No. Well, yes, but no. Yeah, okay. What Riku was saying is all fine, but the issue is that these launchers, they also download the games as well. So in like in the scenario that you guys just said, that would mean that these games would either A, be running on the cloud services, which the launcher gets you to, so xCloud or PS Now on each of those platforms, or the games would have to be developed for said console and made to run. So, i.e., Uncharted 5 made for Xbox, essentially, because there's no way of getting around that. Like you can't just
yeah.
No,
no,
it's
Brian,
either
I'm
cloud-based or native-based.
I'm so glad you said because I didn't think about it. You're right. It probably would be cloud-based, wouldn't it? That'd probably be the easiest way of doing this, wouldn't it?
Here's the thing though. How is God of War and the PlayStation games right now running on PC? Because the architecture is so similar to the point where not that much of a modification.
No, but I think Brian brings a good point though.
But then it's still it's still God of War running on a PC, as in it's the PC version of God of War, just like it's the PC version of Overwatch or the PC version of X game. It's still the PC version of that game. So hence, if you want to have like Xbox games on the PS4, they'll need to make, I don't know, Gears of War 6, the PS4 version or the PS5 version. Like that build will still need to exist, and that's what I'm trying to say. So either it'll be cloud-based through xCloud, or they'll need to make like the Gears of War 6, like for PlayStation. So
I still see a future where they would invest money to make a port of that on there, just so that they have it on there.
They'll just use the cloud because it's, again, as Tony said, it's just easier.
I could see it starting off as the cloud.
No, they'll just go full cloud based.
They could just go full. Listen, man, if you played Xbox Game Pass, was it xCloud, Brian? That shit's fucking butter. It runs great. You know.
Well, not even that. Just in terms of development, like if you people just say that, okay, cool, we'll just go through the cloud. Then that means that you only need to care about whatever the cloud tech is doing.
That's right.
Which is probably PC or Xbox, which they're already doing anyway, since Microsoft games are on PC and Xbox to start off. So hence they don't have to spend time saying, okay, let's port it over to PlayStation, do all that stuff in there. Like, no, they just say, okay, cool, it's in the cloud, it's done. Like, it's literally done.
Here's the thing, though. I understand where you're coming from, but in order for that to be like fully feasible, the narrative in regards to streaming games needs to drastically change. I see it slowly but surely changing, but not enough for a ginormous profit to come out of streaming game. Like, I don't think anyone in this room, or majority of people in this room, would choose streaming a game over playing it natively. So it's like, like I said, I can see it starting off as streaming, but I don't think your average gamer is going to accept streaming only, because they don't accept streaming only right now.
There's a hardcore Stadia fan base out there, all children.
Okay.
So,
John Christ, where you at, bruh?
See, okay. The thing is, like, you're trying to apply like now to stuff that will probably happen.
No, that's why I started off my response with a giant change in the narrative of the stigma behind streaming a game needs to change in the future. Because if it doesn't, then that as the only option in the future, it's not going to slide, because it doesn't slide now.
I mean, I don't think it'll ever work. There's too many inherent drawbacks, and it's natively inferior to, especially a game on an SSD. There's no way you're going to make it the same experience just because you have to send off that information packet.
Like
and receive
and like
more
I said,
back.
if the narrative is never going to change, they're better off using a little bit of that money to make a slight variation.
By the way, I think
version of-
we're getting a little off track. We're not talking about
We
this
are.
kind of.
We are. But like I said, you said there's only one topic tonight. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, again, but then if you go down the route of like, okay, it won't be cloud based, then it forces them to go down the native base, which is Gears of War 6 running on a PS5. But then the issue is, why would they do it through Game Pass when they can just sell you the game anyway, because it's already made for PS5, you know? So that's what I'm trying to get. I don't see a world where
because
where like
Xbox
Gears of War
doesn't tell you with games individually. That's
Brian,
not their narrative.
I think the answer you're looking for is to be dicks. And that is, in the console wars, a completely fair play. It's been done before. The whole idea of an exclusive is being a dick. Hey, it is more impossible to do it on their system than it is on mine. So buy my thing.
And then the thing is, you say, why at that point, why won't they just make you buy the game? When a game leaves Xbox Game Pass, they ask you if you want to buy it at a discounted price, right? So, like, if it was on,
while it's on sale. So if it's on sale, then you add on top of that. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So if let's say you are a PlayStation gamer and you're playing Game Pass on your PlayStation, and then the game leaves Game Pass, and then they're like, well, and you love that game, but you don't want to fucking get an Xbox because you're just a weirdo, right? You just want to stay on PlayStation and play that Xbox game, but it just left Game Pass, but you can buy it at a discounted price. Then I guess that downloaded version of the game would be something at your disposal to play right there. But if it was on there, that the enticing thing would be the entire library of what's available on Xbox Game Pass. But if you could just buy it individually and play it on your PlayStation, then at that point it's just the Xbox marketplace that's on your PlayStation instead of just Game Pass itself, right?
Can I ask a question that I think a lot of people are assuming, but I want to get clear. Like, let's say if we live in a world where they did make Call of Duty exclusive and on Game Pass in one way or another, could Call of Duty, as the powerhouse franchise that it is, survive that PR hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, Call of Duty. Call of Duty fans are crackheads, bro. They don't care. They'll play wherever it is.
Brett, can I tell you a story of like a couple of years back when there was a gaming system that was hugely popular for Call of Duty, and then it went offline for 3 weeks, and then there was a huge surge in the competitors' side because the Call of Duty crackheads needed to get their crack fix.
I mean, I get it. That seems to me like it would be one of the most blatant dick moves ever, and like gamers are assholes. We do not react well to things like that.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing. I'm sorry to say this, gamers and Call of Duty guys are kind of different people, man.
We have breaking news. We have breaking news. We have breaking news. Breaking news from Bloomberg from Call of Duty. They have an inside source. I'll post the link. Anybody can go to Bloomberg. Is reporting it. Just posted like 2 hours ago. That they're hearing that their Call of Duty Activision announced that they're going to announce that they're going to walk away from the yearly release of Call of Duties.
Is that real?
That's just from Bloomberg. I'm on their official website.
Wow.
So
it's funny you mentioned that because I heard a lot of people going, "Oh, this deal is good because it's gonna mean no anti Call of Duty." So I'm like, "Where are you getting this from?" This is, anyway, just going back, Call of Duty players are a different breed than gamers. That I don't even consider the gamers; they're just Call of Duty players. So they're very different. Just like mobile again, like Brian said, these guys literally said, "Oh, I can't get my Call of Duty on PlayStation. I'm gonna get an Xbox now." They didn't give a fuck about PlayStation. They just wanted that Call of Duty. So I honestly believe if they ever do make Call of Duty exclusive, all those hardcore Call of Duty guys will just buy an Xbox, and like we said, the cheapest Xbox possible. They need that fixed. The guys are crackheads.
But here's the thing, Tony.
Like that. They're drug addicts.
Let me ask you. You'll buy the cheapest Xbox, but are you really getting the best performance on the cheapest Xbox?
They don't care.
Do they care?
No. Call of Duty is highly competitive. You tell them you can get a slight edge by buying this one. I think they'll buy that one.
Brett,
Lay it on your phone.
They have Call of Duty Mobile,
and
it's still incredibly big. Again, Brett, you need to remember, these crackheads, they don't care about anything. They don't care about console wars. They don't care about performance. Like, if Call of Duty came out on, like, Galaxy, like, Samsung Galaxy S2 or something, they will buy it because they need their fix. They don't care about anything else.
I would
So
say as long as the performance is serviceable.
And even on last gen consoles, Call of Duty games run at 60 frames a second all the time. You know,
Call of Duty games were one of the few games that actually ran at 60 frames, which was really when they did run it at 60 frames, they did. But yeah, it was really weird. Yeah,
Here's superior graphics to be able to, see the things that I'm
they
fighting
don't
better.
care.
They don't care. These are Call of Duty guys, man.
I know. I'm realizing
they don't care.
I don't understand these people at all.
No one understands these people. That's
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I do because like all my like the siblings of my gamer friends, all they fucking do is just play Call of Duty all day, right? Like my boy Mike, his brother, all he did every year, he only bought 2 games. Guess what they were? Call of Duty and Madden. Exactly. Those guys exist, you know?
Or NBA 2K /FIFA.
It took me so long to get him into what I call real games. Like, hey, try out God of War. Like, I got Call of Duty. Like, he literally reacted like, why? I got Call of Duty. I'm like, you got to get on some real
most people
shit.
that don't listen to this show. So basically what you're saying is Fortnite players have existed long before Fortnite.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Fortnite players are the young versions of Call of Duty players.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm realizing. I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, fuck, man, like, yeah, you could put Fortnite as an exclusive and they just be like, all right, I'm gonna go buy an Xbox. I'll be right back.
Yeah, and where can you play Fortnite? Everywhere, and they don't give a fuck. You know,
here's another thing. There's certain games that Jesus Christ.
I wish our featured image could be a GIF. You know, because that'd be amazing.
Just put some flames back there. So you could sink it back into hell.
Yeah, right.
Brett, here's another thing to think about. There are certain games, and there's a very small amount of games that can get away with this, but there are certain games where they are also above criticism in regards to critical reception and whatever fucking score they land on Metacritic and all that other shit. Call of Duty is one of those games where it's like, look at Vanguard. Like, from a critical standpoint, you hear everyone complain it's garbage, it's all of this and whatnot. It still sells fucking bangers.
But it's not selling as good as the other ones. That's where that report is.
Here's the thing, but in comparison to literally everything else that came out that year, it still destroyed everything else. So it's like,
remember that Call of Duty in space? Everybody hated that game. The game was still the best-selling game of the fucking year. You know, motherfuckers need that crack. You know.
So like, when you look at every other game that's not a part of that upper echelon of above the criticism, they die by the criticism. Right? Like, if someone says if the narrative is that your game sucks, there's a high chance that your game is just not going to sell, right? And even if your game is good, it doesn't necessarily mean your game is going to sell either. But usually, if your game is really fucking good, like talk of the town, it's all over, social media, whatnot. Like It Takes Two game or some shit, it'll sell very well because it's a good game. That shit don't fucking matter with Call of Duty. It could be good, it could be bad. It doesn't matter. It's gonna sell, and not a lot of games can say. Not a lot of franchises can say that they're at that level right now.
By the way, they also just got. No, it's EA. Sorry, I was gonna say It Takes Two is in there too. No one is.
So basically, they could go exclusive with little to no consequence whatsoever.
Yes, exactly.
I'm changing my vote then, and I'm voting with Tony.
You have a full year to change the narrative. They can do all kinds of promoting of we're going to do this. We have all these plans for the new Call of Duty, which is coming in 2024, if this report's right. We got this, we got that. And then when it does come out, it's like, and it's all on not just Xbox, but it's on your phone and it's on your PC because it's on Game Pads. It's everywhere. Your tablet. You just need a controller. There you go. Like, you can use a PS4 controller. That's it.
Yeah, you got to realize that the only place the place that's going to get heavily hit is the PlayStation crowd. Mm-hmm. It's still going to be on PC. It's still going to be on Xbox. It's going to be on the cloud. It'll probably still be on mobile. So
they really should have did it. They really should have did it.
Yeah, they should have.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. Obviously, they're still going to make boatloads of money by keeping it on PlayStation. But they had an opportunity to gain at least 5 million subscribers by doing
Well,
this.
I think that's where the whole we don't want to divide or impact the players or something to that effect that Phil said in his it's because it's this he doesn't want to pull the plug because that would have pissed a lot of people off because that game just came out a few months ago. So
that'd have been contradicting to everything.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why he was like, no, we're good. We're leaving it for now. That's where that existing comes in for now. So
I think that also the thing is, obviously Microsoft is not like thirsty for money, right? So they don't have to make such a cutthroat decision because of the fact that they just have so much money that they could take they can continue to take this holier than thou route and be fine.
Yeah, again, something people don't seem to understand, and Carlos, you could maybe help me here with the numbers, right? $70 billion to Microsoft is chump change. How much are they actually worth? Like almost $4 trillion or something?
Yeah, it's in the trillions.
Yeah, they're well, not for 2.26.
I thought they were like 3 point something. Okay, how much? 2 point?
It's been a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah. But the point is like 70 billion ain't shit to Microsoft.
But
it really isn't.
That's not the way to look at it. When Microsoft is buying Activision, they're buying shares of Activision.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're just throwing their money in a dumpster fire and they're just not going to have anything left. They have the ownership of the Activision studios. They have stock in those studios. So that's where the inherent value comes from. Yeah. And it's like if you buy, let's say you buy half of Microsoft. Well, it's not like you lost $1 trillion. It's like it's still there. It's just part of a company.
I know they have equivalent value. I'm just convinced now that Microsoft, to them, the concept of money is just this weird abstract that they don't quite grasp. They're like, I don't know, what's $1 billion? How much does a banana cost? $20?
Yeah. To Tony's point, 70 billion or 68 point whatever. It's chump change for them.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you gotta watch that play on it. There was one part when they had to fix. They were like, "Hey, listen, we're gonna fix this whole thing with the 360 red ring. It's gonna cost how much? Over $1 billion. Go tell Steve Ballmer. Walked into office, said, we're gonna fix this. How much? $1 billion. All right, go do it. Just like that. One person can make that decision of $1 billion.
What's the name of Microsoft's president?
I
don't know how to pronounce his last name.
I know Nadella. That's his last name.
Nadella?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, that dude is obviously like, Phil, how much do you need, bro? We got you. It's like he's obviously like,
that's what I'm saying. He is a new bomber. He replaced him. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah. No. So
when they talk about blank checks, they talk about that right there.
Yeah. What else do I want to talk about here? Do we need to say anything else about Mr. Kotick? That dude's gone. We all agree that motherfucker's done.
Yeah. He's gonna leave. He's gonna leave.
A lot of people are gonna leave. I just want to parrot what I said before. I don't think gamers have ever been more on board a studio being bought and then gutted.
Yeah, isn't that something? With like if there was any other studio, people would be upset. But like people like, no, just do it to Activision.
Yeah, and fire that guy while you're at it.
Yeah, because nobody liked Bobby Kotick. The guy's like the epitome of scummy CEO. All right, other things. Everything we're gonna keep talking about is still related.
Did you guys mention like his parachute though?
Yeah, 300 million. Yep, we mentioned
it. We just saw 68 billion. So the 300 million, that's nothing. That's something they have in the couch cushions.
Okay. Yeah. So
this guy makes more money failing than I could ever make in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by the way, 68.7 billion is the equivalent of 3% of what Microsoft controls.
Chump change, bro. I'm telling you.
That could solve world hunger. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
So if let's say the average American makes $50,000 times 0.03, it's like $1,500 for like a regular person. The equivalent.
Wait, how much for the?
1,500 for someone that makes $50,000 a year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's nothing.
Yeah, it ain't nothing. Yeah. All right. I want to move on to some other stuff, but it's all related to the same thing. This one we're gonna take it at face value, and then Carlos, you're gonna explain what happened here. So the headline here is Microsoft deal wipes $20 billion off Sony's market value in a day. That's how it's been framed, right? But the thing is, Microsoft lost, how much was it? $57 billion that day? Carlos?
Yeah, 57 billion.
Yeah, so the market in
Same
general
day.
was down. The only one that went up, as you said, Carlos, was Activision.
Activision went like 15% or something. It was some crazy ass number.
Yeah.
But yeah, it went
So
up.
can we really say that Sony tanked because of the Microsoft deal when even Microsoft went down, and the whole market went down?
Yes.
It obviously didn't help. But if you want to attribute that the news put Sony through a bender, then you have to attribute the same thing to Microsoft, saying,
Yeah.
hey, because they both went down at the exact same time. The news of this acquisition happened before the market even opened.
Yeah.
So, and S&P 500, the Nasdaq, everything was red that day by a lot.
Man, when I saw my shit that day, man.
I mean, you could say the market reacted to the news. It was just a much smaller reaction than most people think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like exactly. Like it could be maybe 1% or 2, some, but when people say they solely, it's like, no, this news
they
isn't.
bounced back half of that today.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they came back.
So
you're right, Brett. They went down 10%, then went jumped back up 5%, right? So
yeah. So I would say in general, they probably lost between 3 and 5% at the news, and that's not necessarily abnormal for some news like this. I think it's an appropriate market reaction, but it in no way belies that the market's like, oh, fuck. This isn't a world star moment happening in the stock market. It's not like that.
World star,
oh shit! It's over.
World star.
Also, you gotta remember that Sony's, they're a bigger company than just PlayStation. So there's many things that can affect their market value as well. So this obviously impacted them, right? But remember, they have multiple things going on. So there's things that outside of what we look at that could, investors could bounce back and buy into it and whatnot. So you gotta remember that too. Microsoft is huge, like we were saying, but Sony's also pretty big, and they have music, electronics, financials.
And they got Spider-Mans.
And they and they have Sony Pictures. So there's all sorts of reasons why people would buy in or sell out. But while this doesn't make a too much of a dent in Microsoft's stock price, those Activision Blizzard shot up, and then Sony took a dip, but people will buy in the dip and it'll recover. So when people were saying they lost $20 billion in valuation, I'm like, they'll shrug that off in a couple of weeks. It's the market's fickle like that.
Chris,
by the way, Activision is up 27% in the last few days, and that's 100% because of the news.
Yeah,
right. But that's a boon because look at all the shit we've talked about before with them, all the allegations and the sexual misconduct and all that stuff. That place was burning.
Right.
This is like a ray of hope. Uncle Phil came down like freaking Moses and just threw
Funny thing is that Activision was not the only stock that went up. There actually shares in Square and Capcom rose by 3.5%, and Nintendo and Konami rose by 2%.
Interesting.
It got people thinking about the video
It's
games.
just weird.
Yeah,
it's
damn it, Ripple.
Sony Microsoft went down.
Buy one of these guys too. What are they doing?
Well, here's the thing I find funny. Everybody that's running around be like, "Did you hear that they lost $20 billion?" That's one of the things. Okay, I obviously know you got this information secondhand by the way that you phrase that. Because if you actually looked at the stock, you'll see it took a 10% dip. Right? So when you talk about, that's chump change. If you actually look at the stock, they'll tell you how much chump change it is compared to the rest of the value of the company. So dropping 10%, not a good thing. Bouncing back up 5%, okay, it's still a little volatile for normal market standards, but that happens a lot these days, and it was reaction to big news. So they'll recover, everything will be fine. But I love when people are like $20 billion, and I'm like, it was 5%. By the next day, it was 5%. So no, it's not $20 billion. It's not $10 billion. It's not any $1 billion because it's not actual money evaluated. It is, the stock market is, again, how much people want something. So it's a demand. It's all imaginary numbers, and it fell by a certain percentage. So,
Yeah, I mean, and even a company like Microsoft, they're red in this week. They're
Yeah,
they're
how
in the
much? How
negative.
much percent?
So they're down 0.68% in the week.
Oh, that's pretty minimal.
Yeah, it's really minimal. But I mean, if this news pushed as as much as people said it would, then it should have given Microsoft a jump. And they did have a jump on yesterday, but all of that went down. So it's
Like Chris said, it could be something else. There could be a bug or something in the office or something like that going on with 365. They have so many other sources of revenue, so it could be any one of those impacting.
And as an investor, like I don't know, I'm happy for the news, and I can see why people would buy stock in Activision because they're like, oh, they're going to clear house on this bitch. I'm buying this in a fire sale because of all the sexual allegations. Sure. But even as somebody who like might consider investing, like I don't know about you guys, but the news doesn't necessarily make me want to invest in Microsoft. It's good to hear, but I don't know what they're going to do with this acquisition yet. Like it could just sit in the back burner for years and not
It'll
actually
look better in
create
a year. It'll look better in a year when it's actually all said and done, and all these games are on Game Pass, and see if the subscription number goes.
Yeah. You let this bubble pass, and then you buy it like in the middle of summer when nothing's going on, and then when they release all these new games, then the stock will bump up a little bit, and then you got your money. Like it's not a good time to buy Microsoft.
As someone that is invested into Microsoft, I sure as hell ain't investing in Microsoft for the Xbox stuff. Fucking Windows, Azure, that's 365. That's where you have your eyes peeled on, because those are the big fucking money makers. Those things are no fucking joke.
That's the backbone. You got all the big companies use them. Sony uses them. All of them.
Every fucking corporate office has 365.
Yeah, so, the same with Sony. Even like big video game drop, sure. You partnering with your television, you're partnering your televisions with some sort of AI or some kind. You partnering with Google for your next television set. Okay, cool. That's more important. That thing's going to sell units, make money.
Mm-hmm. By the way, just for clarification, I am not invested into Sony.
No.
Ooh,
that's controversial.
But, that says something.
Yeah, I'm an Xbot.
but you're on Throwdown. We're all ponies.
They're not supposed to.
Do nothing but the bunny, oh bunny, the pony, the bunny.
All right, man. What else we have here? Okay, so Sony came out and they were like, they just made a quick little statement, which is interesting because they didn't make this kind of statement about the Bethesda games, right? They said, we expect that Microsoft will abide by contractual agreements and continue to ensure Activision games are multi-platform. Again, they didn't say this with Bethesda at all, and I remember when they said that, I was like, yeah, dude, like, at first I was like, why wouldn't they abide by it? Then I realized, they had to make that statement to the shareholders, right? Carlos, you and I were talking about this before. If you read between the lines, it says, we're going to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Don't sell your fucking stocks. That's what that statement really says,
Yeah. If they don't follow contracts, then they could sue Microsoft.
Yeah, because those investors were shook. Like, we're going to lose Call of Duty? And investors are fucking stupid, as we saw with Pokemon, So they had to insure these guys,
But then at the time, like, can you really doubt them? I mean, they just lost 10% in, how many seconds? So, again, like, if that was me, I'm like, oh, shit, I just lost 10% in stock. Like, okay, like, what the hell is going on here? So, again, what Sony said to me makes perfect sense. It's like, guys, please don't sell the stock.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah. Just calm the hell down.
Yeah, they didn't say that directly, but that's what they were saying.
Yeah, they're definitely saying that for that, and they're also want to do damage control with the fans because
the fans, a
lot that narrative, the ponies, that narrative spreads fucking like wildfire, and everyone's like feeling all fucking anxious and shit, thinking, "What is this now going to be an Xbox exclusive?" I mean, the Bethesda games are Xbox exclusive now. So, Call of Duty, it's another fucking beast. And
the next thing we need to hear is just when does that contract run out?
Well, we know it's supposedly in next year. Yeah.
And the last thing people need is to be in a time where there's ambiguity and no one knows what the hell is going on, and all these Xbox people panic and buy fucking Xbox, or all these PlayStation people panic and buy fucking Xboxes.
Yeah, they want to keep them buying PlayStations, and then, to that end, Phil Spencer tweeted out this is what he says. Had good calls this week with leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry, and we value our relationship. Very interesting. Very corporate speak, but we could parse some of this stuff, you know. But how I read it as like, for now, we're going to keep these Call of Duty games on PlayStation, so we're good. But also the value of the relationship, maybe in the future there could be something, you know, as we hinted at before.
Yeah, relationship. Yeah, give us Spider-Man, bitches.
See, I see some chest puffing in
There
that
you
shit.
go. That's what they're saying. It's like, you want to play nice with us? We got some shit that you need. We want some shit too.
Yeah, go ahead, Brett. You said.
I see some chest puffing. Like this is the second. This is the second time that I feel like Microsoft has just kind of like leaned over and pat Sony on the head in like a weirdly backwards condescending way.
Oh yeah, this definitely. Oh, that's a good point, Brett. This definitely seems like, you know, like those gangster movies where like one of the fucking peons fucks up and he's just worried like that he won't get fucking killed or whacked by the fucking mob boss. That's fucking Phil Spencer's. Like everything's good.
Oh yeah, this is like when they're leaning on one of the local businesses. Oh, everything is fine. You can still have your customer. Don't worry, you're not gonna have any problems as long as you pay us every fucking month. The day you don't pay is the day your janitor and your chips go missing.
I gotta bring up the other statement.
They are already paying. They are already paying them. I mean, they got that Azure deal.
It's The other statement was that somebody basically asking Microsoft. You know, that Sony's putting out a streaming service, you know, that they're combining PlayStation Now and all that shit. How do they feel about that? And Phil Spencer just goes, I think it's a good idea. It was inevitable. Which to me, like, if you just go to the corporate speak, fucking savage.
Yeah, none of our games are gonna be on there.
Well, not even that. Like, I think it's a good idea. Like, yeah, no shit, dumbass. Like, we've already done that. All you're doing is validating our decision. And then be like, it was inevitable. Like, again, showing like, yeah, it's a successful move. Of course you're gonna follow it. It's just gonna be a thing because we're 3 steps ahead of you. It's okay though. We ain't worried.
It's definitely in the realm of like when Sony does decide to copy Nintendo and Xbox, it's the decisions that they've already succeeded on. You know, the PlayStation Move and now Game Pass and whatnot. They obviously, as a, you know, from a business standpoint, that's a smart decision. Copy the successful things, not the fucking failures like TV and shit. But
well, yeah,
you know?
but to me, the way that I hear that, maybe it's just because I'm a mildly confrontational person. But this is I'm not advocating a gun fight, but to me that sounds like somebody saying, "Hey, Sony just got a gun. They're coming from you," and them saying, "Yeah," and somebody else saying, "Yeah, it's probably a good idea. I figured it would end up there." Like, that's gangster speak. That's baller right there. They ain't afraid of shit.
I saw it more so like, yeah, we believed in it and we stuck through it. Even if it wasn't like, you know, profitable from the beginning. We have so much goddamn money, it doesn't fucking matter. It will eventually be that. You know,
yeah,
and
Phil Spencer's confident.
Sony couldn't do anything like that because it's like you guys said a couple of episodes ago, when Sony comes out with an idea, if they don't see that shit profitable from jump, it's out of here, you know. So it's like
to the Vita.
And let's be real, if Game Pass wasn't successful, Sony would have still, well, Jim Ryan in particular would still be talking about how, see, told you niggas Xbox Game Pass wasn't going nowhere, you know. You'll be I told you, motherfuckers. I said this shit. But since it actually is, you know, successful, he can't say that shit. You know, he has to say the opposite. You know.
Yeah. By the way, I wish I could share tweets on this platform because this tweet I tweeted out is perfect. So this is from Neo GameSpark. So the first part goes, you know, this is Phil Spencer talking. Sony is an important part of our industry, so Call of Duty will remain on PlayStation. And then Phil Spencer once the acquisition goes through, and it's a gif of Michael Jackson at the end of Thriller. You know, he's walking with the girl, turns around.
Oh yeah.
So you know it's gonna happen. Like right now, we're playing it cool, right? Yeah, we love Sony. We're friends. Very important part of the industry.
Yeah.
So as the acquisition goes through,
We got a full year for them to change the narrative.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is that the one thing that they will stick to is whatever deals that they had, just exactly the same as what they talked about with with the Bethesda games. This, all their deals and things that they've made, they are going to stay intact until the end of that specific deal.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, saying PlayStation is an important part of the industry, it just has an air of. Am I the only one that hears a little bit of their like, you serve at our pleasure?
Yeah.
Well, I
you're
mean,
you're only relevant now because we let you.
Yeah. And we value our friendship.
you know-
No, you're right, Carlos. You're right. It's like, I got an offer you can't refuse. Like that's some shit that's gonna happen eventually.
I think the thing about it is just that they're just using the usual corporate, the light speak, and they're not gonna, open their hand. Same
Bethesda,
thing that
right,
they
Manny?
did with Bethesda, exactly the same thing. Where they're like, we don't have any plans this time to change anything, yada yada yada. That is just so you motherfuckers out there don't lose your shit when they say, when they, initially to, essentially sour the messaging that's going on with them right now. What they're concentrating on is the main acquisition. They don't need anybody getting all stupid and saying, "Oh, you can't do this." But watch, once the time has come, once the deals are all done, they're gonna suck that shit right back in.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
Watch.
Yeah, by the way, in the chat, they're like, when it's a Sony deal going to end? We don't know. We don't know when these deals are going to end.
We don't know. We don't know when the Sony deal.
That's the other thing. A new deal would need to be made, and that's when.
Yes.
Yeah, but again,
when Sony
right
wants
now,
to jump in on it.
Yeah, no, you're right. But Adam, like you said before, like the deal could expire in 3-4 years. We don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, we
guys
don't
in
know.
the chat are saying, and they say, no, it's not.
No,
we do not know. We do not know that.
Even when the whole thing is said and done, even when Microsoft owns everything, like he said, they're still going to honor the existing contracts. We don't know how long those existing. We don't know how long
Exactly.
Sony
We
paid
don't.
for X amount of Call of Duties or Overwatch.
They're not going to break the contract. People are saying, no, they're not going to break the contract. They're going to think.
No, they're not. They're going to leave the contract alone. They're going to leave it as is, and they're going to let it run out. And then once the contract is over, they will either, they'll probably leave the door open for Sony to renegotiate, and they will say no.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Because again, what is their? Why would they want you to go away from their ecosystem for any other fucking reason?
To be nice? Nope.
Yeah. Again,
it has nothing to do with nice. It has to do with the business. And if they got you there, because if they got you on Game Pass, with all of your favorite games on there, why are you going to go and look somewhere else? And even then, you could still have one, and you can still have both. You don't need to own an Xbox.
Nope. It's the whole thing.
For this
PC,
to work.
Use a phone, use a tablet. That's it.
Yeah, you can literally use your if you have your own PC, and you don't even need to have a strong PC to do this.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Again, just because the deal is finalized, the acquisition is finalized next year, doesn't mean the contracts end that year. Just keep that in mind.
It's the same.
There's a Bethesda game that's still coming out exclusive on PlayStation. What's the new one that's coming? There's a new one.
I think it's Tokyo Ghoul.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah,
Ghostwire Tokyo. That's still coming. And
so there you go.
I think a lot of people's concern is, and I kind of would share this, like, is it unrealistic to expect them to renegotiate a contract for each individual game that they release? Do we really think that they have contracts set out for 4 or 5 games in the future? Is that I don't know if that's a thing, but to me it would seem like each game.
All you need to do is just look at the messaging, the messaging for each one of those games, and where their thing is, because
exactly that's why
the advertising all of a sudden makes everybody think that, hey, Call of Duty's only on PlayStation.
Yeah,
and it's not.
I don't think it's going to be many years. I don't think it's going to be several years even. I would hazard to say if it's going to happen, it'll happen with the next Call of Duty.
So far, to date, PlayStation has had the Call of Duty franchise ever since the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
As long as the PlayStation 4 has been out, they have always had the all the ads, and rhetoric. They always
the exclusivity deal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
they
just saying.
always-
I don't think they have their contract written out for the next Call of Duty game yet.
Well, we don't know that either.
Yeah, we don't know that.
We don't know.
We don't, but we also don't have any reason to believe that they would have a
Do
contract.
you think? Do you think?
game
Do you think
That's a
that they?
big moneymaker. I would think they
Here's
had a
the,
multi-year
here's the
deal.
question. Here's the question, Brett. Do you think that they every year renegotiate this contract, or just did one lump sum contract?
Oh,
To be
I
honest,
believe
I think
every
they
year
just
that I
did
believe
a
every year
month.
they went into a bidding war between Sony and Microsoft. They came in and said, "Okay, who's going to give us more money
No,
this year?"
what are you talking about?
Oh,
That
no.
exclusivity deal was for
No.
years. No, that's not the.
If it was a bidding war,
Yeah.
Microsoft would win.
They would win.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We've known this for years now that like Sony secured a deal for exclusivity for Call of Duty for like almost the entirety of the generation. We know that already. They don't make these things per game. They do it for a bunch of
that's
games.
what I'm asking. I'm like, do we know that it is a multi-game deal? Is that normal? I'm hearing
Yes.
yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
I
look at
mean, you know,
EA
Microsoft
and
for years, Microsoft did it themselves. They were the Call of
360.
Duty console.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in the
or even-
360 era, that's what they were doing.
over now, just look at EA with Star Wars. They had like that deal for 2 years
Yeah.
or something. Like, where like they were the only guys that could make Star Wars games. So we know that these things aren't just for like 1 year. It's like a long spanning. And again, I'm with Tony here. I thought the whole Activision Call of Duty PlayStation thing is going to be for like at least 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, this it's very rare when you just make a deal for a single game. You do
Yeah.
it for many years, for many games. That's how it works.
I-
It's like when
yours makes more
Microsoft did with
sense.
Grand Theft Auto 4 for all the DLC. They didn't do it for one piece. They did it for the Lost and Damned. They gave Tony. They did it for all of the DLC.
Yeah, and those
Right.
still haven't those haven't even still shown up yet, have they?
What are you talking about? They came out years ago.
Oh no, they did. Okay, no, I'm
Yeah.
saying that they haven't showed. They showed up on PlayStation though. Gay Tony and the other one.
Yeah, they did. Remember, I remember how I told you I was waiting for a year. You know, and I was fucking grinding for that trophy for Final Fantasy 13. Those games were out, and I couldn't play them because I was still grinding for that fucking trophy. I was like, God damn it!
Oh,
I just
yeah,
want to
yeah.
play these games already. Yeah, you know. No, they came out a year later.
Okay, I concede.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. All right. I think we're pretty much done here. Anything else you guys want to add about Activision? By the way, I should add this. We normally at this time of year would do our PlayStation wrap up thing, but none of us could fucking get into this shit. You know, Riku's like the only one I know of. Yeah, Riku was like the only one. You know, so you know what, Riku? Let's hear
PlayStation
yours.
wrap-up?
So nobody else seems to be able to log into this shit. You know,
I can't. Where is that thing? Where's the link?
and maybe you could get in.
Oh,
you
with
know?
the numbers and the stats.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
didn't send me. That's one email I didn't get this year.
Yeah, I'll drop the link. I just dropped
Well,
the
Riku,
link.
you
inside
just like we always do here, and you've never been around for one of these, I don't think. So you just list
no,
it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's just list everything as you see it.
Yeah, so I mean, in regards to the stats that I have for my shit, they said hours broken down. 25% of your total playtime was for PS5 titles, which honestly is surprising to me. I didn't feel like I really played any PS5 games.
Wait, what was
Mine
your total hours on PlayStation?
But I would have give me a second. Let me actually open up the thing.
The reason I bring it up because like every year we're always amazed how many hours Big Mike puts in. It's like, bro, you put in as many hours on PlayStation as hours exist in a year. Like, how do you do that? You know, it doesn't just flat out tell you that.
Oh no, it says it right here. So they said last year you played for a total of 1,246 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then, like I said, in regards to the 25%, that the 75% of your was PS4. That's understandable.
Wait.
21 games beat
Did you
last
play
year.
250 hours of PS5 this year?
Apparently.
Wait.
It's probably the updates when they do.
Hold on. Wait. I'm
No.
confused. I'm confused. Brian, you go
I am
ahead.
guessing that it's logging time by the game, not by the machine.
Yeah, I was about to say, Riku, are you still physically playing on a PlayStation 4?
No.
Okay, so because I was like, wait, what? Who the fuck? I thought you so it just breaks down by PlayStation 4 games and PlayStation 5
Yes.
games. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So that's why I was saying like 25% of the total playtime was on PS5 titles. So I'm
Yeah,
guessing that it
PS5
looks at if it's PS5 only or if it's the PS5 version of the game.
Okay,
and
that
then it
makes
logs
sense.
the time.
Yeah, because I'm like, who the hell has a PS5 and a PS4? That's redundant.
Yeah, I was
know?
thinking the same thing. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Right. Go on, Riku.
Yeah, and then it said my top 5 games played last year. At number 5, Ease 9 with 112 hours. At number 4, Cold Steel 4 at 118 hours. At number 3, Tales of Arise at 128. At number 2, Tales of Vesperia at 129. And then at number 1, Samurai Warriors 5 at 153.
Nice.
For those
That's
of you that
cool.
don't know, Riku goes in.
Yes, he does.
And then it said you earned 625 trophies last year, 15 platinums.
Damn.
Like cute 15 platinums.
That's cute.
You know the previous years,
Yeah,
man.
that's
It would
right,
be
yeah.
an average of like 30, 40 a year type shit. So
Yeah, that's
15 is
true.
like it's
You're on
okay.
vacation, you know.
Yeah. I don't think I think that's honestly where it's gonna be at, like moving into years future. Like I could see another 15 this year, maybe like 12 or some shit. I try to at least get like at least 1 platinum a month now. That's what I
Yeah.
try to do. But even sometimes that I think there was a few months last year I didn't get any platinums a month, and then just next month's like 3. So it is what it is. It's interesting that we're still going in another year and they don't have this site working for like everybody. But I think is a lot of I feel at this point they have to know how much people are going to flood this site, that they would have gotten prepared for this, but apparently not. They're still not prepared for the flooding of people rushing in to see their stats, that they always end up farting the bed when everyone rushes in the door. I think the only reason I got in to even see my shit was because I hopped in before the crowd did. So I think when I posted my shit, I didn't even see anyone talking about it yet. It was like 3 hours later, and then everyone started. I was like, oh shit, I got in early. So I think if anyone here got in early, they probably would have been fine. I probably would have been in the same situation you guys were in.
Yeah, it's just interesting because usually, this is the first time we haven't been able to get into this shit. Like,
yeah,
I got in.
You crazy?
I just did. Yeah, so I could do mine.
Let me try this.
Yeah,
maybe
I
it did.
Yeah, Manny, go ahead. Yeah, do yours.
Okay, so apparently I played 125 hours, total hours. It shows Death Stranding on the side there. I guess that's the game I played the most, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works.
I think you can drop. I think they have I think they have a link there that you can like copy and paste and then drop it in there, and then we could see it as well.
For not to show it. Anyway, I have let's see, your hours breakdown. It says I've played 124 hours played locally, and then 1 hour played online. I played total 51 days, which is crazy. And then it shows an ad for Death Stranding Director's Cut, I guess. I don't know what those are. Apparently I played 14 games. Tearaway Unfolded. My top game for, I guess, 2021 was Tearaway Unfolded. I beat that in 48 hours. Near a Replicant, which I haven't finished yet, is 36 hours. Concrete Genie, which I did get the platinum in, I got 11 hours on that. Grand Blue Fantasy and Black Sad Under the Skin, which was 4 hours, and I played that. I got the platinum in that one. Now it says something about Returnal. Of the amount of trophies that I've earned is 119. I got 3 platinum trophies,
Nice.
9 gold, 23 silver, and 84 bronze. Ratchet and Clank ad. I'm not sure what this the PlayStation Plus thing is. I don't know. It's useless information. And then it says yes. What a year! And then they gave me these icons, so you can get icons from from this thing, which is a Death Stranding one. Whatever the hell that other game is, the exclusive PlayStation 5 racing arena game, Returnal, and Ratchet and Clank. So there you go.
It's weird they still have these avatars that they want to give you when
You can't really buy them.
Yeah, you can't buy PSN avatars anymore. That is literally not an option. You can't go to the PlayStation store Like even on your
Yeah, he
desktop
did
to
it.
look for the avatars, that whole section is gone. So
Yeah,
it's weird. They're still giving us avatars in general, and you can still change your avatar to the ones that you
Yeah.
bought, but you can't buy any new ones, which is weird. 'Cause it's like,
Nintendo still sends me emails for rewards, especially for my birthday. And says, "Oh, we're gonna give you some gifts," and it's stuff for the 3DS. It's like all backgrounds and this and this and that, and I can't use any of that on the Switch. I'm like, why are you doing this to me? You know I haven't been playing it, and I have a Switch. I don't understand.
yeah, it's weird because it's not like it's not like people don't want to get avatars. It said people were still buying avatars, and they were still making somewhat of monies off of that. So it's like it's odd
It's the
that's not.
dynamic backgrounds. I miss that.
I honestly don't, but
Yeah.
it's
By the way, I tried while Manny was doing his. I tried on the browser, tried on my phone. Nothing. It kept 404ing on me.
interesting.
Yeah, I think it has to do with information tied to your account because I get the same
Could
thing.
be maybe it's region.
I don't know.
I mean, what do they do? What are they separating the country into quarters or something? Because
No, I think this
States or
is
something. Different servers.
I
I
think
mean,
this
the
is just
only
a fucking
the only difference
overload.
is that I was already logged into the PlayStation Store already, so it just when I
Same.
clicked the link, it automatically threw me on there. So
Same.
Yeah, no, she's 404ing on me. So that sucks. I wanted
Yeah,
to see.
I
I
would say,
wanted to see my
we have
wrap
to give it like 48 hours, see what the hell.
It's just weird because again, never happened. It's always gone off without a hitch. You know.
I think the previous years also. I think it is fair to say that probably there is every year they do this, more people are interested in digging in there, looking around, seeing their shit, and sharing it.
Yeah.
You have to assume that every year more and more people are doing it. So
Yeah, that's true.
It's,
Yeah, because
you
I
know, probably
was
they're just
assuming.
not keeping up with the demand
Yeah.
of the people that want to see that shit.
A lot less people would start doing it if fucking Call of Duty was exclusive to Xbox.
Well, Call of Duty sends their own also. At least they used
That's
to.
true, but that's true also. But you remember, you have to take this into consideration, Carlos. These Call of Duty only basic bitch niggas, they don't give a fuck about that shit anyway. They're too busy playing Call of Duty right
Yeah.
now. They're not on Twitter looking at their stats. They're too busy making the stats.
That is
What's
true.
weird is that it's not on the PlayStation itself.
It really should be too.
Yeah, why is it
That
on the
should be
PlayStation app?
I don't know
very
why you got
weird.
to go to
No,
their
it's
site.
not on the
to-
console. It's not a thing.
No,
You
no,
can't-
no. I understand that. I understand that. Not the. To be honest, to answer your question, both. Why isn't it on the phone app? Why isn't that a section on the PlayStation 5?
Yeah, it should
that
be.
you can go to and see all of that shit. That would be cool.
Yeah.
And then you can
Because
just hit a button and tweet it out. That would be cool. But it's
Because it's-
yeah, I know what you're about to say.
Yes,
Because it's
Because it's PlayStation, and they
Yeah.
have to do everything in the most obtuse fashion possible. Like,
he is correct about that. It's goofy.
Like,
And they're not
why
going
can't
to
I
take it
use my-
seriously until fucking Xbox or somebody does it the right way.
I mean, like people had to go at PlayStation for saying that you can't use your PS4 controller on PS5 games. It's like, yeah, it's Sony. They're doing it because they can do it, and they don't care. That's it. That
Enrique.
again, that's like Sony's attitude. It's like we're just doing it because we can do it, and that's it. We don't care about anything else. We're just doing it because we can. $70 games. Why? Because we can. Charging for PSN Plus. Why? Because we can. That's it.
Enrique, Microsoft already did this and better.
Yeah, but remember, I was going to say that
Where
because
is
think
it right
about
now?
it. Think about it like this, right? Microsoft had their now. It wasn't a yearly wrap up. It was literally lifetime wrap up of Xbox with fucking 3D
Yeah, it was
graphics
the-
and all this other
yeah, it
shit.
was the
That
generation.
went off without a hitch. And this is a fucking web. That's all. It's just a web page, and it's like, what? Come on, bro. Bullshit.
Goofy.
Yeah. All right, man. So
Well,
anyway, yeah, what's up?
yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I
No,
think
never
yeah,
mind.
right, yeah, we're done, man. Let's thank our guests here. Riku, man, where can people find you, man? Actually, where can people find you? And if you want to give any shout outs, you go right ahead, man. This your time right now.
I'll just give a shout out to Neo Game Spark. You mentioned him earlier. He's a cool
Yeah.
cat on the Twitters doing this thing and whatnot. Shout out to Weapon Wheel. Those guys are funny. They did a good. I think next Sunday they'll be doing their impressions on this whole thing. All of the fucking podcasts are doing different.
Oh, yeah.
Active. I was trying to slide through on this. I actually tried to fucking get my word in on one of those Twitter Spaces the day it happened. But I was just like, this shit is one. Twitter Spaces are glitchy and goofy as shit.
They've
and then
really
secondly,
been glitchy lately. Yeah.
yeah, and then secondly, it's Twitter Spaces. Them motherfuckers, they're goofy as shit inside there. You never know what you're gonna get. So I was just like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm just gonna go on the Throwdown, baby.
You
bring it
know?
home and
Yeah,
you know
Tony,
put all the
Tony, I
content
saw
there.
you do one. I thought you weren't doing those anymore.
No, I did one on Monday because I was off, you know, and then on Tuesday I was like, oh, I got time now. I did another one, but both of those they progressively got worse in quality, you know. Yeah, Monday I was like, yeah, I'm home. I'm fucking. I'll do one, you know, and then on Tuesday,
You know why, right?
why is that?
Because they were adding the NFT support.
Ah, that's
Oh,
why.
God, man.
And Tuesday it was an emergency one because this whole news popped off. And Danny was like, "Can you join me?" So I joined in, but it wasn't very stable, you know. The weird thing is, because I did those 2 spaces, I literally got fucking 1,000 new followers in a week. I'm like, damn, that's fucking wild, you know.
Oh yeah,
So,
you can definitely make callings off of that.
yeah,
shit.
so I'm in the 10,000 club now. You know, again,
Yeah,
if I had $1 from all these motherfuckers, I could quit my job, man. Every month, $10,000 a month, I'd be. But you know, my point is like, yeah, you get all the followers you want. That shit don't make you no fucking money, you know.
They had that little feature in Twitter now. You could turn on the little dollar button, and people can
Yeah, I
send
heard
you
about
money.
that. But
That's weird.
that's kind of feels like begging too, you know.
It's just
Well,
right
I
there.
mean, tip
Obviously,
jar,
obviously.
tip jar.
It's like it definitely.
I
looks
mean,
like
yeah,
a
I mean,
tip jar.
if you have Kofi and all that stuff, you can put a little donation
Kofi?
box for people. Yeah,
I know,
that's what's
right?
called Kofi.
Shout out
or
to Kofi.
Kofi Kingston. Oh, boop, boop, boop.
Kofi Annan and
Oh.
shit, you know.
Honestly, the only pages I see with that shit up. Let's just be real. Them only fan hoes shaking their titties. They got it all up. Those are the only pages. I see with the
I
dollar
don't judge.
bill
You
up.
make your money, you know. Make
Hey man,
make
Tony, Tony, you better shake them titties, baby.
There you go.
$10,000 a month.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, make your money off these thirsty dudes. Do you?
Hey man,
You know?
it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. All right, Rich, if you're still there. Rich was very quiet, man, in the last half of the show.
Richard chilling, bro.
He's chilling, man. He's just listening to
Rich-
the conversation.
Rich
know?
was definitely not controversial this episode.
No, he was not. He was
Mhm.
not.
Didn't have to.
Yo, Rich, are you up right now? There he is. So, Rich,
My apologies. Was having some little bit of some issues on my end with some audio stuff, but I'm good now.
yeah, man. So, yeah, we're just wrapping up. So, yeah, any shout outs you want to give out or anything? This is your time, man.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me on the show. So I'm gonna give a shout out to all of you,
Right.
Throwdown crew. Give a shout out to Mr. Harry A. Swaby because I know he had some comments about this as well. So yeah, he may have something to say about it very soon. So stay tuned for that.
Oh,
You know, guys like, they better not be fucking with my Overwatch, you know? Shout out to you, Gary.
Yeah, he's funny. Yeah, no. Thanks for having me on the show. As far as coalition is concerned,
Yes.
I think everybody knows there's a lot of stuff happening in February. Gaming, entertainment. Of course, The Walking Dead is returning soon. So,
The nuke.
yeah, so
nuke.
all I will say is stay tuned. We have a lot of great things on the way.
All right, that's what's up. Yeah, stay tuned to the coalition always, man. All right, I think we're done here. So let's plug some stuff. Manny, what you got?
Nothing. Just stuff that's coming in the future that I can't talk about. So stay tuned for that, as always.
Those NDAs do not talk.
Yep.
By the way, I just want to mention that we went, specifically me and Tony went the whole show with talking about Call of Duty, but we never did it.
Oh yeah, we didn't do
Call
it.
of Duty, baby.
You know, Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
You know. By the way, shout out to Dirty Death Dealer. He's in the chat. I haven't seen that cat in a long time, man.
Shit.
Yeah, this dude's been listening to us forever. I believe he's from the Warzone days as well. You know. So shout out to him. OG. Motherfucker.
By the way, Torrance came back for
Yeah, he
the, for
did.
the
He
news.
came back. You know, Torrance is happy about this shit. You know?
Yeah, no, Torrance throwing a party over there.
Yeah, Torrance is always on that bullshit though. He's like, I'm retired. I'm dead. No more. You know.
Now
And
we
then
got
comes
some
back.
shit to talk about.
Yeah.
Morning gamer.
Yeah, the morning gamer, bring it back. All right, Adam, you got anything, man?
Yeah, I mean, go over at the Coalition, got my review of Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction, and we have a few other ones, Expedition Rome, and a bunch of content, and there's stuff going up there. And just like Rich said, Walking Dead's coming back in February, Walking Dead proper, Mothership, so we'll have Carlos back for that one. No nukes. The nukes is with Fear.
All right, that's with Fear.
Yeah, Fear has that. But
I thought you were going to say Walking Dead Prime, you know. It pretty much is that.
Who knows? Hey, that might be the name of a spinoff. We don't know. We don't know. But so that's it. That's what we've been working on. And like he said, a lot of games, man, right? Let's see how many actually come out. Because remember, before they kept saying all these being pushed to February, March. Let's see if they all come out February, March, if we get new dates.
Yeah, no, because some games are already getting delayed, you know?
That's what I'm saying. They just do that as a placeholder. That's the way I felt. It's like, they were saying sometime next year. Yeah, February. Yeah, we're good February.
Yeah. For some reason, I'm thinking Walking Dead Prime takes place on Cybertron. Fucking zombie robots, you know?
Zombie robots.
Why not, right? They already had, like, fucking radiation zombies.
That's Walking Dead 2040.
Right? Oh man, 2040. You realize that's like less than 20 years from now, right?
Yo, shit's getting crazy now. We got robots everywhere. Okay, so anything's possible.
Yeah. Mob Hits, with thoughts on the Moon Knight trailer? I didn't see. I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
No, I didn't even bother.
I don't care. I'm done with that shit. All right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't care anymore. All right, man. So anyway, make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube and join the Discord where Mob Hits, who was joining us tonight, is always hitting with them crazy ass rumors and speculations. But again, Mob Hits is like, yo, Tony, you awake, man? Get up, motherfucker. This is crazy right now. DEFCON 1, man. You can find Throwdown on any podcast app on the planet by searching for Throwdown Show. It's 2 words, Throwdown and Show. And you can visit throwdownshow.com to listen to all the previous episodes. And if you are on YouTube and you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified when videos go. We go live on, Twitter live or YouTube live, whatever the fuck it's called. What is it called? YouTube live? What do they call it? Premiere.
Yeah. YouTube Premiere.
YouTube Premiere. We go YouTube Premiere on Monday and Friday at 10:45 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, links to everything down below. Once again, our show host Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Alex just said, have a good weekend.
Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
Brian Manjoma.
Later, people.
Riku Sun 1, the only one.
Peace out, people.
And Richard Bailey Jr.
Take care, everybody. And remember, Xbox is the future of gaming.
Oh, man. That's going to trigger some people.
Yeah.
All right, people. We'll see you on Sunday. Peace out.